And first of all, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kachodash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS,
Double honors.
and shalom back there to the whole board, to teach the truth and also sincerity, man. So again, another week in Babylon, man. This place is getting closer to its demise. Things are slowly, not even slowly, really, crumbling. Everything's just getting worse, and the writing's on the wall.
Yes.
Actually, you can grab that to start off with, right? The writing is on the wall for this place, man. Right, and it's if you can, if you've got the spiritual eyes, you can see it. If you ain't trying to live in a cocoon, in a bubble, or like an ostrich with a head in the sand, you will see that this place is at its end. And you got people out here, trying to convince you otherwise, right? They're trying to, have your eyes glued onto the hope that they're trying to offer. We've got all these technocrats offering all these solutions that we're going to change the world, we're going to save the world, global change, lying wonders, right? And so they're trying to deceive you, just as the devil is supposed to, right? With all these illusions and these promises, right? But when you really look at what their work is doing, how is anything getting better?
It's getting worse, and it's getting worse on purpose.
Exactly.
You be hearing the things that a lot of these politicians are saying, and you're thinking, oh, why would they make such a dumb policy, right? And then they'll be like, oh, because Trump's a fool or Boris Johnson's a fool. These guys aren't fools.
None of them are idiots, man. I'll tell you that for nothing. Right? None of them are fools, and none of them are ill-educated. Right? Yeah, they have a character, right? They have a facade that they put on. Right? They're not belligerent or illiterate or none of these things, man. Because they're being directed at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And the director has actors in the game, right?
I always remember certainly Apostle Tahar said years ago about how a lot of these actors that Esau will set up in these positions, right, will always have something about them, right? So, H-Man had his little thing. Kim Jong-un has his bowl cut, right? Trump has his toupee. Boris has his crazy hair.
Trump and his orange face.
Orange face, yeah. Oh, well, what do they say in America? Orange man bad.
Agent Orange. I think Eminem called it Agent Orange.
Right.
But
it's an agent of chaos. That's what he does.
Yeah. Right, but they have these defining features, right? These cults of personalities.
Yes,
you always hear about those things, right? They have a thing that you can immediately identify who they are, what they're about. They keep repeating the same lines over and over again. But exactly that. It's witchcraft, right? But these guys are set up to deceive the nations, deceive the people, because the elites don't want to really be out in the open. That's why you won't see them, right? But then who put them in office? Exactly. Who made sure they got the votes? They always about, oh, this person rigged the elections, oh, this person rigged the elections. The election's always rigged. It's always been rigged. You didn't know about it, though. It's been decided who they would use to run the country, man. And they create the talking points, the issues in the country where something becomes more popular or favorable, right? Trump's in power because he hates immigrants, right? He wants to sort out the immigrant situation. He wants to build back better, build business in America. Yeah, to your detriment, because the reason why you have an immigrant issue or seemingly or whatever is because you caused it. The elites caused it to happen. So you put this guy in there because he's going to sort it out, right? Because you need it to be sorted out.
Yeah.
Convenient, right?
And then in the same process, getting rid of some of your workers, man. I always remember there was a video of the woman on the couple on the farm, and most of their workers were illegal.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, they all left. So,
yeah. And now you can't function.
Exactly.
Oh, but we need more businesses. Oh, so who's going to replace these workers that you got rid of? Machines, AI, things that don't involve you and the prosperity of people.
That's it.
Right. So all these changes are not happening for your benefit. They happen because that's the agenda of the elites.
Right.
But again, if you got the spiritual eyes, you can see that the kingdom is at its end. It's done. Right. There's no future for you. Right. Ultimately, there's no future for you. So period in this kingdom. Right. So yeah, the writing's on the wall.
That's it. Daniel 5:5. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet
And that's what you're trying to do now. You're consulting all these witches and warlocks, you know, the priesthoods and all these kind of different types of things, right? Trying to navigate the end. Trying to navigate the end, right? To make it come out favorable in your favor, right? Because it is a delicate balancing act, man. Because you could implode the system,
So
right? Because you don't know, you're canceling all these witches and demons and stuff to trying to put things in your favor, right? So you can establish your new world order. But you got to make shit chaotic, man, before you can get there. And that's you got to manage that very delicately, you know. And that's why you can't just do it straight away because things won't fall the way that you want them to fall.
that's right.
You know. Yep.
It says, then came in all the king's wise men. The king. So then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof.
Which just shows you all your witches and you warlocks you counsel, man. They don't fucking know.
That's it.
They ain't got no real solution to you. You know, because true knowledge is hidden from them. They're wise in some degree. They know certain things, of course they do, right? But they don't. They ain't got the full picture. Or if they do, they ain't telling you.
Mhm.
You know. And so the only ones that have the whole vision is the men of the Lord, the Lord's prophets. They know how this is all going to play out because it's not going to play out in your favor.
That's it.
Right? Even though you think you're managing, the destruction of this place, it's not going to work out in your favor. Right?
That's it. What you call, because it's like reason why we know and we're confident is because the Most High made it plain, right? So we just talk about making it plain up on tables, where the Most High made the end of this man's kingdom ultimately plain. Like once you hear the apostles break it down, you're like, oh, that makes sense, right?
And then you start seeing it for yourself, man.
Exactly. But what these elites are trying to do is they're trying to circumvent, right? They're trying to, in those basketball games when they're like 2 down, right? And they're thinking of a play, we're gonna do this and then we're gonna do that, right? And then we're gonna, take a shot right on the buzzer, right? And that's what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to make a play, right, to get one over right at the end. Still the game. But it just ain't gonna happen. You know?
And that's because of your hubris, man. Because you think you rigged the game for yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't understand you're playing in a bigger part of the Most High's game, where it's completely rigged.
Yeah.
Right? You have no chance of winning.
So I always remember something that you said years ago. You was like the house always win. And ultimately, this is the Most High's house.
Yeah, it's not your house, bro. I know you think it is, but it's not your house.
Yeah.
Right? It's not set out for you to win. You know, you ain't gonna win that jackpot. Right? And that's just what it is at the end of the day. And like I said, you could try and manage it the best that you can, thinking that it's gonna work out in your favor, but you're playing the Most High's game. You're actors in his story. You know? So there's no real way out of that, even though you can certainly demons to try and find a way to break free. But only you're here doing what you're doing because the Most High prophesied you would. That's how we know it's the truth, man, because you're here doing exactly what the scripture said you would be doing because the Most High willed it. Not because you willed it. Everything about you is because the Most High willed the person that you are. Right? And your insatiable lust for acknowledgement, acceptance. Right? Because that's where your problem stem from, the fact that you was never acknowledged or never respected. And you want that acknowledgement. You disrespect the Edomite, man. They get mad upset. You're not respecting, praising for the things that they've done. They get mad upset. But the same was Cain.
True.
When Cain's offering wasn't accepted, he got bare mad.
These times you did the wrong thing.
But he did the wrong thing. It's like you might want praise, but what for? What did you do? Oh, we created buildings and civilizations. Bro, you killed half the half population of the world.
Oh, so when you really look into like concrete's toxic, bro. There's a whole thing about.
That's what I mean. Like you want to praise the stuff that just ain't fucking sane. And like and sometimes like you might not know when you start using something, maybe you don't know. The knowledge is increasing. We know you know shit. Right?
You
know
you
don't care. Exactly. So it's like,
the Black Waters documentary showed that when it goes in Dark Waters, Salakia, when it goes into Teflon, right? And the fact that they knew, and really when you look at the fine that the DuPont family got was an offense, man. I know this posted out a piece.
This is Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
And again, because of Cain's spirit, the spirit that was made for Cain, right? He utterly rejects the Most High and his creation. Right? So he's a rebellious spirit at the end of the day, and that's what that spirit's been given to the tribe of Esau. Right? They have this rebellious spirit. right? So he rejects the Most High completely. You know, so he's a fool, and so he never obtained true knowledge because he won't accept what true knowledge is. It's of the Heavenly Father. You know,
That's why they're going on. I mean, pushing this. I mean, LGBT issue. You know, all
Yeah.
this is. I mean, to come out.
How is that wisdom? Explain to us how is that wisdom, man? Where you got to do all kind of fucking alchemy to even make that work in the first place. It's madness.
Yeah, no, for real. When you think about just like the amount of money that has been spent researching how to make those things happen, you're like, yo, bro, you could have spent this money actually
Oh,
furthering.
shit was already working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There
You know
was
what I mean?
radio
Like,
woman.
all the men and women that were waiting to change it up for. You know, it's madness. At the end of the day. You are just mad.
Exactly.
But it's just because you've got that spirit in you that completely rejects the Heavenly Father, man. That was what he's made to be. That example, man, for those that are just acting foolishness, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's that word against self
Harm.
mutilation?
Yeah,
Like self mutilation is at an all-time high,
Yeah.
but it's been turned around.
Yeah, it's
as if
medical.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
medical.
yeah.
No, your face.
yeah, you're mad.
Bugged out.
You remember in Kings when what's the name, man? Elijah, when the prophets was
Yeah.
that's what's going on a daily basis. People are like, you see, sometimes you have to see like women. They might have had nice jobs, and then 2 years down the line, they got a fucking peck and big spots, and they shaved.
Yeah, talking about that, man.
Like, have you seen that? Remember a couple of years ago, there was that video before going to university.
Oh, yeah. That whole video was
And
deep,
it was
man.
like pretty white girls,
Yeah, that video was deep.
Becky's and them, big princess, you know,
To bags and wrinkles.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you got people that actually turn themselves into fucking lizards, man.
Yeah.
You know, doing all that plastic, you know, the plastic surgery, the tattoo parlors and shit, putting fucking shit in their fucking eyebrows and shit, horns and
Yeah.
weird shit, man. Cutting their tongue in half and shit.
Cutting their tongue
Like,
in
what the fuck is wrong with you niggas, man?
all this crazy.
It's mental.
I just see a nigga down the road, right?
Oh, man.
Wearing a black cape.
Dread, man.
Why is this nigga wearing a cape?
Captain Dread.
Yeah. But even on that, so the other day, man, what was it? Wednesday? Wednesday, I was on the way into the office and that. You just basically see it because it was hot that relatively hot that day. You see a Jake basically in booty shorts and a handbag. Bro. I was like, bro, this place got to go.
Esau's fucked this place up. Fucked it up another level. They got really big. Where he's got hair grease in here. At the bottom here.
This is go for first king. I mean, Proverb again. 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. At the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right? So you're just a chess piece that the Most High put on the board, man. Right? He moved you. You're gonna do this. You're gonna play this position. You know, you're gonna be the rook or you're gonna be the knight. You're gonna make this move. The Most High is in control of the chessboard, man. Right? You are not in control. So everything that you've done up until this point has all been part of the Most High's will. Right? And that's why everything's evidence to us. Even though you might not see that the Lord physically, like, you know, say that the Lord's here. His actions are here. And we can see the effects of his will. Right? So everything this book prophesies about is being manifest in this world. And that's why Esau can't really escape from who he is and why we can identify him. He's trying to hide and well, I'm not the Edomites and do all this sort of shit. But like, you can't ignore what this book is saying, man. And you can't run.
In the same way that when you read Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, right, it says that these curses shall be upon thee for a sign in the season. That's why, you know, even the thing about Israelite foreigners has come back up again, right? You know, I think it was an Irish guy who's trying to be like you in Israel and that, right? But basically, when you see the plight of certain nations, when you observe certain things that they go through, certain people, rather, not nations, certain people, you're like, bro, this man's probably a Jake, you know, or how they move in the spirit or whatever.
All you guys that say, you know, this person not is like this person, not, you need to shut the fuck up, man, because you don't know shit anyway.
Yeah.
You don't like, because if we ask you who it is, like I said, you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And you should regurgitate, oh, the man in the Middle East. all that boring shit. Oh, olive skin. Oh, all that boring shit, right? If you're gonna go that shit, you don't even understand.
That's it.
You don't know nothing, man. You ain't got no opinions in this matter.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know shit. Nobody dealing with you. Your brain is as a bat, as they say, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got no opinion on the matter, man. Just shut the fuck up.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, the point I was just trying to make is just in the same way that there are certain characteristics and traits that identify an Israelite, there's certain characteristics and traits that identifies the Edomites and who they would be in these last days, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know, we ain't got a fucking, I don't know, some spectrometer or some shit. You know what I mean? Going around like, yeah, 95% matches or whatever. No, it's all the spirit, man.
Yeah.
And you don't trying to get carnal with it, trying to work out who the Edomites are, who the Israelites are, or any other nation for that matter. If you trying to do this by carnal means, you're gonna fail, man. This is not a thing of the flesh.
Get it.
And you ain't gonna find no records, you ain't gonna find no DNA.
Because it once again goes to show you the power of the Lord. Salakia. I'll say it's going to show you the power of the Lord in that the Lord made it such that the records were lost,
Yeah.
destroyed. Because what did it say? Shall he find faith in the earth? Let's be real. If there were records, there would be no need for the mystery.
That's it. That's it.
The small hats couldn't go around saying that they were the real gods because they'd be like,
Because and how are these things be secrets then?
Yeah.
Right? Because only real spiritual
There
men
wouldn't
can
be any
understand
need
the
for
work
faith.
of the Lord.
You know?
You know what I mean? Only the real men in the Lord can understand the works of the Lord, man. It's not for everybody to understand. So if it wasn't a secret like that, if it was just easy to piece together, man, this would be we wouldn't be here talking about it today. Everybody would have known from the dark ages, or, you know, whenever, right? Knowing who was who. There would be no mystery. The world would not. Well, the world wouldn't be able to play out the way it played out because these will never get away with shit. Everyone would know who he is. They would never let him in a power seat. You know, if everybody knew. That's why the son of perdition had to be revealed. It's not that it was known. Even though, yeah, we knew the Greeks or the Edomites and stuff, but like in terms of that understanding wasn't really had back then. That's something that's been revealed over time. You know, because these same Romans, these Edomites, they're back here today. Rolling in their second leg, you know? Yeah, do you have more on that?
Yeah, I got something. This is the book of Matthew 13 and the 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Right, so we got heathen among us, man. You know, we got Edomite tares among us, we got all kinds of shit going on. Different types of heathens. Yeah. Right? Because we you know, our women are laid down with the other nations and, you know, given juice to bosses essentially, right? They're not a part of us.
because Esau's actively gone out and, you know, done that, certainly in like different countries to, you know,
Create
maintain
confusion.
that rulership. Yeah, because, you know, I speak as a man, but that Rishi Sunak, to me, that's Amalek. There's something about it. It's just like that's an Amalekite.
But you know, whether he is or not, it's not even any importance to us.
Yeah.
Because he's a heathen.
Spirit had him come past the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had him come past the camp.
You know, but what we're always concerned about who's the Israelites, man. You know, you Edomites are going to be judged regardless. You even going to be judged regardless. But you Edomites are going to get worse, right? We're just concerned about our people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So we're here to identify them before anybody else. So whether Rishi Sunak's a fucking Amalekite or Edomite, who the fuck cares, man? You're going to slave. Well, you're not going to slavery, but one of you is going to be utterly destroyed. You know, never to see the light of day again. You know,
No mercy.
but it's all through the spirit, man. You know, like I said, there ain't going to be no records, man. Don't. We ain't got time for the bullshit.
But when the bread was sprang up and it brought forth fruits, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, this not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then has it tares?
Yeah, and it's interesting because even when you look at the picture of wheat and tares, it looks very similar. But there's a, you know, those who know what they're looking for,
Yeah.
can separate it.
It's hard to distinguish, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you know,
You know
you're
what
looking,
you're looking for,
that's it.
which is going to be the angel.
So, like I said, because we are looking at other nations, Esau and other nations are looking like us,
Yeah.
because it can happen, right? It can happen both ways, right?
Which is why it's a spiritual thing.
And even though we might be able to identify somebody in the spirit, man, guess what? Only if they're not delivered, if they're not the elect, it ain't gonna matter, because only the angels are the ones that are gonna reap. They're gonna be the ones that take the elect out from the world.
Yeah.
So as much as you put the emphasis on us and oh, but you're saying he's a Israelite. He could be an Edomite. You don't even know. So what if, even if you got it wrong,
Yeah.
what would it even matter?
Yeah.
What would it even matter, man? If they're not the elect, man, the angel ain't gonna take them. It's as simple as that, man. So don't worry about it too much, man. Yeah, you're too carnal.
That's it. Which is why eventually, that's why we're going to be changed. You know, starting off with those that are elect. You know, and the rest of our people that have to come back, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have no confusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, Revelation speaks about who are these. Like, you know what I mean? And eventually they're going to get changed anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And ultimately, it's meant as a stumbling block to those that aren't meant to get it, because you're gonna get people that are like, yeah, man, you know, I'm an Israelite, but then they hear about the Israelite foreigners, and then that becomes meat for them.
But this is the whole point of the Gentiles. The point of the Gentiles is because they're not regular Israelites, bro. And the fact that we've all become Gentiles just means there's confusion. You're not discerning whether the Israelites through the flesh based on what they're wearing, or like you're literally using the word as it's written in Baruch chapter 4 to fish for the elect, to call them unto the Lord. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
And spiritually, if like every nation had their, well, let's just say for the Israelites, let's say every Israelite looked like what an Israelite's supposed to look like. Esau would just gather us into a country and nuke it. You just it was like, oh, come, we'll have a nice land for you, and then you just there and a fucking nuke the whole place, bro. You know what I mean?
That's it. Real quick. 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
And that's been the story of all of us. In this modern world, when we've forgotten our inheritance, right? Same way that the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles back in that day, didn't know, right? It took men of Judea, you know, well, the Lord, for them to come back through his teachings, right? That's why the apostles went out with the teachings to bring those Israelites back, right? But now we're all scattered. Now we all don't know who we were. Now we're all Greeks, you know? And through the Spirit of the Lord, through the Lord again, right? We have returned through his prophets, you know, through the teachings that wasn't understood back then, right? But all these things, just like as it happened then, things had to come to revelation, right? And it took time. It didn't happen overnight. You know, things were revealed in time. You know, Peter had to accept that these men.
Oh yeah.
It didn't from the beginning. It weren't like that, but he had to he understood that you know had enough dreams and whatever the Lord was showing him, and he had to come to terms that that makes sense. And that's the same thing that the process we've gone through. Well, not us personally, but our elders and apostles in the school and stuff like that. These revelations come out in time. Understanding has been increased. You know. Now, if you don't want to accept it, that's fine too. You know, because hey, the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they rejected them also. You know, so we can see clearly where what boats we sit in, so to speak. You know what schools of thought we're in, whether we're of Yahweh Shai or we're of the law or whatever. But you got guys that promote all these different things, man, but they're not really focusing on what the Lord was teaching. You know.
Got two quick ones. This is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
Right. So just because you don't believe, don't mean shit. Right. It's not going to stop what needs to happen.
Yep.
You know, and what's gonna happen. Yep.
2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Right. So the Most High, like I said, he's only dealing with his elect. So if you can't receive it, you're just not part of that.
One more.
Right. We are to receive these things, and we understand it, and so we go and teach as such. You know, because at the end of the day, the majority of Israelites are going to be destroyed. That's just real talk. Right. Because they can't heed the word.
Another one. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blind.
Right. So it's not for all our people. It just isn't. And I know that sounds like, oh, we don't even care about our people, but hey, Lord, you need to suffer, man. You need to be punished for what you've done. Right. We didn't decide that. Right. Because we could all be punished. Right. We could all be punished. Right. But the Lord has decided that this portion of these people are going to be destroyed, and this portion is going to be saved. Right. And what do you want us to do about that? We're only here for the elect's sake. Paul said it himself, I do all things for the elect's sake. So what do you want from us?
Even Mosiah told Jeremiah not to pray for these people. Not because they were rebellious.
So what do you want me to do for you? What do you want us to do for you and be nice to everybody? Don't worry, we'll be saved too. Just keep eating pork. We don't work like that.
There's a scripture in it. I believe it is Jeremiah. Like, you think you can outlove
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like,
The Lord's creation.
yeah, like as in, you think you
Love
can
it
love
more.
my people more than me? It's like at the end of the day,
You don't understand what love is, man.
Yeah,
And that's the whole thing. You don't understand what this is all about. At the end of the day.
because Jake will like Jake will stab you in the back, bro.
oh yeah. Trust not in a brother.
Yeah, that's it. It's a front, man. But this is only for those that are elect, man.
Sure.
Remember, these same niggas, like, you know, that get, you know, like a big part of them that get shot in the street, messed up or whatever. But a lot of them are paying back for their past sins, man.
Mm-hmm.
They said crucify him, let his blood be upon us and their children, man. So it's showing forth, bro.
Mm.
And like, you know, when you look at these Jakes, man, these people in the world, especially, man, you can see in their spirit that if they could put us to death, man, a lot of them would, bro. You know, some of us brothers have been out in certain parts of the UK, and you can see in someone's spirit, they've probably seen you in the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've had threats. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
We've had
have
people
threats,
threaten us,
yeah, we
people
have threats.
come back with guns and shit.
Guns
like,
and shit. All
brothers
over.
have been shot at, and you know what I mean? It's
You know,
just
things
brothers
have happened.
died.
Brothers have passed away, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not like what we're saying is not true,
Real.
because it's in the scriptures also.
Yeah.
So we understand that these things are gonna come upon us, man.
Yeah.
But it don't mean like we run
Yeah.
or we're afraid. Like
Yeah.
we're so afraid we might bring sticks to camp
Yeah.
because you don't want to receive
have to
suffering or
move in faith.
persecution. You know?
Have to move with faith.
Mm-hmm.
I got one on the Gentile.
Yeah.
All right, this is Second Ezra 2:34, and therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, and shall come in the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. You know, so that heathen that hear and understand is what the lost sheep of the house of Israel, all right? Because this truth is only for the Israelites. Revelation 5:9 has redeemed us out of every nation, tongue, and people, man. Because we've truly been scattered. Like, the earth is big. Some brothers always say, man, the earth is big, man. But you go to so many places, you don't think there's Jakes out there. Well,
The earth is big and time has been long for mortals. You know what I'm saying?
and people move around.
And a big part of that is trade.
Trade, that's it.
Because I remember when you look at certain of the like spices that are
Metropolises.
mentioned in the scriptures, they're not native to Israel, and they would have gone through certain trade routes. And let's be real, man. Yo, we Jake, bro. Whenever Jake sees some strangers, as or what's this Charlie Sheen calls it, right? When Jake sees some strange, yo, Jake wants to try some strange, man.
Yeah.
He wants to. He's like, yo,
He walks past the local harem. You know, it's like,
exactly.
damn.
You know,
man.
smells the curries, like shit.
That Jake's mixed martial arts fighter. Is it Rampage Jackson, the big nigga?
Well, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
That's the Overeem.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm talking about Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, Rampage Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, Rampage. Yeah, he was saying the other day. Well, it was probably a clip from like 2 years ago. But he was saying in a clip that he actually wants to have a child in every region of the earth.
Yeah, he wants to rampage through the nation.
Yeah, basically, so far he has a couple children. He said, I mean, I have a black one, I have a Japanese one, I'm trying to have a Mexican one. He basically said he wants to have a child in every different region.
So if we laugh about it, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Esau did,
Yeah,
right? To gain control of these different places. You might think, who's that Chinese looking dude of the families, man? What's his name? Fucking. Is it Bing? No. There's a Chinese looking dude on the Illuminati thinking list that we used to have in it. I can't remember his fucking surname though. But yeah, you know, it's how Esau gains influence in all these different places, man. He lays down with the women there, or whatever, and produces these spawns. Yeah, these spawns that have, that can get into the places, man, and start controlling. Yeah, corporations and legislations and all these different types of things to gain power over them, man. You know, that's what they.
look at him. He's got Jake, a Gook son, and he's got a black son.
Tiger Woods, isn't
And
it?
he's got Jake Gook daughter, You know what I
but
mean?
it's
Obviously, all of them are Jake, man. Making, you know what I mean? I think it's even got an albino son. Is it? Yeah, he has an albino
Now
son.
he's going in.
Yeah, man.
but when you consider these things, like when I'll give it a perfect example. It's like in when you watch something like Game of Thrones, where you basically be having someone going to a what was that, Ned Stark, whatever, and he comes home with a bastard, right? Because back then they didn't have
what I'm
condoms
saying.
per se.
That's
Oh,
what his
shit,
sons, man.
that's nice.
This guy has done it all.
Yeah,
He's
that's
got the,
nice.
you know, the Infinity Stones. He's got it all, man.
That's
That's one of his sons. But he's a Jake.
nice. Yeah.
Esau.
Yeah.
They got Esau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's it. It's just like he came back with the box. They didn't have condoms back then. So when a guy went to a harlot house, right, and he was nothing in there, bro, it's like a child may come from that youth,
Yeah.
right, from that one night. And let's be real, if it's something where the guy was just passing through, now she's got a child and he's all the way back in his home country.
Yeah, consciousness wasn't really a thing back then.
Exactly.
You
So
know what I'm saying? So you know, it's few more than
Yeah.
you think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Far more than you think. And considering Jake is the sound of the sea, we're not all in America, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I did a video earlier on where it was basically going into a clip where it was like a girl, and she was basically white girl. She was basically saying that her mom was black.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see
Her
that.
mom was black, but her brother is black.
Mm.
So it's like she looks fully white, he looks fully black, but her parents are put black and white. Quotes black and white. Just goes to show you how quickly it can happen.
And see, and so if you don't have a spiritual mind, you can't discern that.
Well,
You know, you got to jump to conclusions,
Yeah.
man. You know, and what presumption? What's that saying, man?
Oh,
Presumption is a mother of all fuck up or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
Assumption makes an ass out of you and me.
well, look up Bob Marley. Yeah. What
I
you
can't
got,
mention
like,
that either, man.
that's what I'm saying. It's like bug out Jakes in South London that teach the guy like, oh man, he's a
there's just no way.
he's an Edomite. But
The man moved the whole
he's like-
nation, you know,
yeah,
full of Jake.
yeah, the whole world.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
whole world.
It's
These
mad.
times back in when he was 19 in 1980, he was probably I'm jamming. You know, he was. But it's funny. You know, it's interesting. One of Bob Marley's sons got a child with Lauryn Hill.
Mm.
Like,
Did
you
she-
know that viral song? These roses in fire. You know, it's everywhere. It's one of them new reggae tracks.
Bro, it's making me feel old
No,
right
yeah.
now. Down to the
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. Basically, it's one of these new reggae tracks. It's popular. It's everywhere, right? That son, that
I wish you
that son with
no,
Lauryn Hill, you see him. He's about the same color as this brother, yeah. But people call him an Edomite if he came to the camp because his great grandfather is white. So cool.
Yeah.
But now if that Jake now has a son with a dark skinned lady, and that son comes out like me or whatever,
yeah, they were just,
then when he
It's
comes to the
Drake.
camp, oh yeah, man, brother, you're from the tribe of Benjamin, brother.
yeah.
But if Bob Marley came, you call him an
Yeah.
Edomite.
It just shows you how ignorant you are.
Nigga is stupid, bro. It's spiritual, man. You know?
No, no.
It's the book of Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye
Honest,
children.
smooth back.
To be fair, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, to be fair. To be fair.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
This is the book of Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them.
Right, so it's been an important job for us to go to these different nations, right, to proclaim, the name of the Lord and the teachings, right, so that those that are of the elect, because it's not every Israelite, but those that are of the elect can hear, and they get waken out of their slumber, man, and follow the will of the Heavenly Father. So it's been a pivotal job. So when you hear about, you read the book of Revelation, the men that come out from all these different kindreds and tongues and nations, that's those Israelites, man. Because like I said, we don't all have the same languages or the same customs, and grew up in different regions of the world. It's a bit different with brothers here in America and in England because same kind of place really. But you got brothers in France and Amsterdam and in China. There's Jake everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to have the same mannerisms that we might have here. So yeah, they might look funny,
So,
Because man,
funny.
he's growing up in a foreign region that we don't understand.
Yep.
So yeah, because it's gonna look funny. And you're like, well, he ain't Jake because I know he wear this a certain way, or he got a ticket type of dance that I don't rock with.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit,
You know,
you know.
that's why the apostle Kabal always mentions that quote. Not everybody is like gonna like John Shaft, man. So, and another thing I always like to say, like be spiritual with accents as well, man. You know what I mean? A person might come to the camp, speaks another language. He's trying to speak English, and
Who's just gonna
you
sound
know,
weird?
and they might come from a different custom with how they communicate. So then, all right, because he's stumbling over, he's a heathen. Get out here, you heathen. You know what I mean?
I remember meeting one geezer I used to work with, man. It's boy, posh as hell. Yeah, posh, like all of that sort of stuff. Blonde hair, blue eyed. But it was funny as hell. It was fun. You know that ones that and then one day, like I see he had this little signet ring. I was like, tell me about his signet. Comes find out his heritage and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, Jake confirmed. But when you look at him and you see it, you're like, well, this is one of the Dukes of Eden.
Like Jake act like basically every scattered Jake that's a Jake is gonna come camp with like gold grills,
on Ross. Speaking phonetic.
a fucking 50-cent chain. You don't remember the one I used to spit?
Baggy trousers.
Big white teeth. Yeah, I'm from
Judah.
I'm from Judah, but I'm in Seoul, South Korea. It's like, come on, bro. You gotta be more spiritual than that, bro. Yeah. I'm from Kosovo, but
How
I
does
have
that
my
make any
50
sense?
cent chain. Like, come on, man.
How does that make any sense, man?
Don't make no sense, bro. You gotta be more spiritual than that, bro.
That's it.
Can't finish it. Oh, well. It's Isaiah 11 and 11. And it says it, NLT. And it says, in that day, the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to bring back the remnant of his people, those who remain in Assyria and northern Egypt and southern Egypt.
So what them Assyrians do? What are they doing right now? Well, you bring him over here, you bring a freshie from Syria right now and bring him to England, bro. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that's all he's known though. What do you expect from him?
The thing about that with them lands as well is as an example, their women are covered up, right? So then when you get like white women that will go over there dressed all scantily clad, them man get a bit wild, innit? Because they're like, but then you might go past or observe that, you're like, whoa, hey, man, like what's wrong with these man? Why are they so thirsty? You may be looking like, oh, this man a bit strange in that, not realizing the context of why they're behaving and doing certain things in certain ways, right? And then also, one of the curses say, right, is that we'll go to these nations, right, and basically serve gods that we have not known, wood and stone. And certain of them gods, they permit certain things that certain acts that we're like, yo, that's strange. They they have certain customs that we're like, yo, that's a bit evanistic. Like in Japan, do you hear? But they get the one where it's just like they worship a big phallus, right? And it'll be like walking behind the phallus. You'll be like, yo, that's some Edomite shit over.
Yeah, and let's be real, but even between the tribes, right? Because we've been scattered for so long, we've developed our own customs and lifestyles and shit. Like, we look strange to each other.
Bro, have you seen them? Have you seen them Benjamites back now? We had they have the black paint and the horns and play the soca music.
Right.
That shit creeps me out. They have the black fucking paint, like pitch black, bro.
But you're still not the Benjamin.
That looks demonic, bro.
It's that though, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know?
backwards, innit?
But like, we can say the same thing about anything. Like, you know,
Mardi Gras.
Halloween, like
Yeah.
anything. You got weird rites and weird, customs that like doesn't relate to this.
One of the tribes, I think one of the Latin tribes, man. They exhume their dead.
Shit, They do the same thing in Ghana.
Right.
In Ghana, well, not exhuming, but when someone dies, they'll have them in a house.
They
like,
got
on a chair for a week. Like some of them will be standing posed up at the funeral in the house in his Sunday best with a cigarette in his mouth, but he's dead. And people come to the house. Or you know what I mean? If it was a DJ, they'll have him on the decks. Like I'm not even joking.
That's what's funny.
I mean, if he was playing the drum, they'll have him on the drum kit. That's what they do out there. And some people that's perfectly normal.
And that's why you niggas in America, man, you need to really expand your horizons, man.
Yeah, man.
Because you think like every Jake's in America because they're acting all like ghetto and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, there's Jake outside of the tribes that you know that don't act like you.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I'm not used to that shit.
Yeah.
None of us used to that shit. So, but just because they're different, don't mean they're not Israelites.
Right. Even certain Jake, but even in Jake Hood, there's customs and niggas do that stuff. Like niggas run trains on women. Niggas
Hella heatheness.
like with their boy and one girl, or even like gangs, certain gangs to get joined, you have to get jumped in.
Yeah.
Niggas just getting for 15 seconds. Fight back, nigga, fight back. You know, niggas all swinging,
Initiation beat
you
down.
getting jumped.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm sure if you go to another part of like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. Well, Issachar, they got that fucking weird thing where I think it's Issachar where they fuck a goat, man.
Yeah. Like donkey.
Donkey.
Venezuelans and all that. So you know what I mean. So that's it. Just because there's just because
Strong ass, innit?
there's difference.
Oh,
Just because Jake is different, don't
Says
mean
that,
they're an
man.
Israelite. And so you have to acknowledge that that's all around the world, man.
Yeah,
Jake is in
Jake is
different
crazy,
places doing weird shit,
Jake is crazy, man.
saying
Yeah.
weird shit, talking weird shit. It just is what it is, man.
Yeah,
But the word of the Lord is meant to bring them to the fold.
Yeah.
You know.
real quick, it's Sirach 34 from 9. It says, a man that hath travelled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom.
Mhm.
He that
Yeah, which is why the apostles always mention stuff like, you know, like obviously over there in Babylon, they have a bulk of different tribes. Like here, like Boss brothers still get like a, I don't know, a Reubenite or a Gadite or a Issachar. When we're gonna have to like dig in the earth. Like,
on level, it was bad.
aside from the ones that we know.
Okay.
Reuben.
But the thing that we'll get here more, maybe more, because America's a big place, but like we get a lot of white Jake.
Yeah.
Like white Jake, which you're not used to, maybe not gonna be used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we go through spirit on those type of issues, man. Because like, we don't see Reuben
Yeah.
very often. We never see him, but we'll have a lot of white Jake.
Yeah.
Not knowing where they come from necessarily, but
Remember
you're
back in the day, like there was was he a Gadite? That one Gadite that came to the camp, the tall,
long
with
hair.
the long hair. Brothers dealt with him. He was cool as well.
Yeah.
This did this about 10 years ago.
Okay.
He was tall, man. He was like out of a movie.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah.
a brother.
Well, I remember I met a Zebulonite, man. I couldn't even tell her why I was so excited to meet her. It was at work, innit? She was like, I'm from Panama. I was like, what? Because I was like, yo, you're the first Zebulonite I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? But it was at work. So she was like, what's so special about that? I was like, oh, yeah, you know, we don't really get a lot of like... But it's a thing as well. In London, we are kind of lucky in the sense that we get a lot of... It's a very small area, and there's a lot of like different peoples.
essentially.
Exactly. So it's like just through the spirit, you know. I'll speak for myself. I'm sure other above the same thing. Like the whole idea of like the Israelite farmers. You just look back at certain people in school with them. Like, I can see
Curtis Jake.
And you didn't know it at the time. Obviously, you didn't know.
Yeah.
But when you look back, it's like, nah, that brother was different, man. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, like
You know?
like I remember in school, right? There was a Jewish guy, and obviously remember like South Park was a big thing. So we used to you know, we used to think on him. But then late, but he left maybe when, you know, I'm thinking of in the Bible when they say 9th grade or whatever, something like that. And then after school, I saw him like on his Instagram. This nigga got braids, you know, playing basketball and shit, and he was good. I was like, oh, this guy was a Jake the whole time. But that dude had thick skin though, because we used to curse him out. We used to,
But I said, but you that way in your ignorance. You didn't know.
we didn't know.
It just shows you your other Israelites out there. You're so ignorant.
Yeah, that's it.
You're still acting in ignorance, man. You're not really spiritual.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Let me finish this off. Back in Sirach 34 and 10. Now, he that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that is troubled is full of prudence.
Yeah.
When I traveled,
You know, and it's real, man. Brothers, you know, over the years, you know, different brothers, apostles, and many other brothers, a part of this thing of us have been to many other lands, and you be like, man, there's Jake's here too, like, you know, but like,
I get surprised.
you be surprised, man. You know, well, you know what I mean? Whether it's like some parts of Europe, You have a lot of Polish Jakes.
Yeah.
And them Polish Jakes, they're real niggas, man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They're real niggas, them Polish.
But then, you know, you're saying you're surprised,
Albanian.
but we shouldn't be surprised.
We shouldn't be surprised.
Because if we're at the sand of the sea, who goes to a beach don't get sand in the sea?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, Jake is literally everywhere, man. But it's just not easy to identify,
Yeah,
man. This is why it has to be through the spirit.
Right.
You know, it has to be through the spirit, man.
And I think once again we're lucky, just like once again being in here, this really small place for us brothers here at least, because it's like you're getting people coming from all over the world, and then like you just be walking down the road. Oh, like remember the other day when we saw what was it, that man from Uzbekistan?
Oh yeah,
One
yeah,
of the
yeah.
stans.
Yeah.
Was it Uzbekistan? Kazakhstan? Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was
Tajikistan.
Tajikistan.
Tajikistan. You're looking at it, I was like, right.
And I was like, yeah, Jake, man.
You know, so but that's so whereas in America, just the shape, the layer of it is you may have a hood and that hood just goes on, and you'll only ever see Ephraim, or you only ever see Judah, you only ever see Benjamin, or maybe a little bit of a mix of one of the two or whatever, what have you, right? So then it's like with people in them environments when they're seeing a who's this guy, man? The ginger musician, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Why is he winning? Best blah 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 whatever Jake
He's
category, but he was like, Bill, he writes a lot of other artists.
Well, every Jake, like that. What you want to do?
Yeah, Bobby Caldwell.
Bobby Caldwell, and now the story goes with Bobby Caldwell, one of his first tapes or albums. The cover had to like hide. Like, yeah, you know, it's an album cover was him on a bench. His album cover was him on a bench with a blue orange background, and you couldn't really see him.
Yeah.
So a lot of Jake, thought he was just a Jake. So when he,
Well, how many times does that happen? You listen to the radio and you hear someone's voice, you've never heard it before. You think, oh, it could be a Jake, right?
And then
Find out it's not.
yeah, and then
Like Sam Smith, even though he's a flamer.
Yeah.
He's a
can
flamer
sing.
with talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a flamethrower. But Bobby Caldwell, one of his first shows, they're like, who's this white boy to the stage? And they started singing. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But and even band,
He was on the Soul Train and
Soul
all of
Train,
that, man. So
yeah, and then even that band, one of my favorite bands, the Average White Band, which they
one
did
of
that.
the Pussy Bars though for that.
Yeah. The Average bro, they got bangers, bro. You know what I mean?
That's it.
You know?
That track.
Even like what Amy Winehouse.
Maverick Saber.
If you didn't see it, you think it's a black woman singing.
You know?
Even got some other rapper dudes, White Jake that rap. You know, some of them are good,
Yeah.
man.
And even them like Mobites, like
break dancing and all kind of great shit.
well, even funk. You know what I find interesting about music, yeah? Like, I'm someone that kind of likes all different types of music. But if you look at, like, let's say 70s, 80s music, like, especially like the funk, right? You would notice that, a lot of regions in the earth had their own variation. But that's because they're scattered jig. Like, you had a funk in the west coast of Africa. But Japanese funk was crazy. Like, I love it. I've got buried them on my playlist, because Jake followed the trend of Judah, innit? Judah and Babylon will start a trend, because that's where all genres really came from. And then the scattered ones will like ride the coattail because they're the same people. What's that in Ecclesiasticus? All flesh consorted unto his light, and a man will cleave to his light.
So it's like we harmonize.
Yeah, man. Even in wickedness, like now with the drill, you got Australian drill, Korean drill, which that Korean drill's alright, man. You got the Japanese drill, Australian drill, because they're the same people. Jake is gonna
Resonate.
resonate, man.
That's right.
Yep.
You just finish this off.
Yeah.
It says, it's Sirach 34:11. When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express.
Right. So it takes time to experience and be around certain things to know what we know or what other people know. When you kind of just stuck in this mentality, Jake's only black, Jake only play basketball. Every Jake has to dance. Like, these could be all the indicators, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not rigid.
Mm.
It's not rigid like that.
Because even in those things, those are the boxes that he put for us. You know, because it's like Jake, bro, it's like outside the bounds of what the Most High has basically allowed each individual to do. Because we've all got certain things that the Most High, you can do that. Like apart from those limitations, there's really nothing we can't do as Jake.
No.
It's E that says you can't. Like, look, for instance, Sheku, right? He's like basically now one of the most famous Sheku Kane Mason, man. Which,
Oh,
the cellist,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
played
yeah,
for his sister.
System.
Right, still. But yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
he
the
was
thing-
talented though.
yeah, very talented.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, very talented. The two of them, right? But then basically, he will have will have Jake believe that they can't get into playing a classical
Yeah,
music.
that's all Jake.
But we're like the fathers of those things, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Any inspiration really came
Mozart.
from Jake,
You know, all of them guys.
and that's why
They-
you idolize all these artists and these these musicians and stuff, man. These composers, because Jake was the one that rebirthed all this
Bro,
stuff, man.
Jake spiced the earth, bro.
That's it.
Jake is
Really
the
salt
flavor
of
of the earth, bro.
Salt of the earth,
Literally.
Yo, have you ever seen Edomites play instruments, man?
Yeah.
It's the most soulless. You're like,
And even if
"Yeah."
they do,
It's because it's not the fact that they can't play.
yeah.
They can play
They gotta
because everybody,
just
everybody can learn to emulate.
Yeah,
Everyone can learn to
yeah,
emulate, right? But no one can. It's hard to play from
Play
the
with
soul.
soul.
yeah.
So,
Right, to bring something out of nothing, almost like
bro,
but almost
Yeah.
inspiration from the Heavenly Father.
Yeah,
But to
yeah.
bring something out is it's really talented.
Yeah.
But you can copy
Yeah.
somebody who's not really talented, just able to do it.
Yeah.
There's spirit behind it.
like, bro, James Brown, man. Like, you know, like the certain sound.
It's like a serious concern. That's cool, no, probably the same.
Like James Brown's whole body was an instrument.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's like, bro, what was he doing that?
How's
You know,
he glide across the floor like that? You know what I mean? It's magic.
You know what I mean? That's magic, bro. Oh, you know what I mean? Or like,
The energy
Yeah.
and all of that, man.
Yeah,
Come on, man. And these are indicators.
you
know,
know,
We don't get a DNA sample that he is like, yeah. But we watch
The
and see,
spirit.
observe.
spirit.
You observe, man. Watch the spirit.
Got a couple. Where did it go? Let me read this one first. Exodus 19:5. And it says, "Now, if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my oath." It's like a NLT. "Now, if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among all the peoples on earth."
Among all the peoples on the earth. And look, just cause in school there was that fucking Eminem looking white boy that you kept fighting at lunchtime that you didn't like. It don't mean he ain't a Jake, man. Bro, so some of them racist fast.
Like Jacob fighting each other,
Yeah, that's
King
what I'm
Chubby
saying.
Day, though. It doesn't matter.
The scripture says dying eye shall be evil.
Evil,
So like even
So what if he's racist?
Exactly.
What do you expect?
does that mean?
Jake be killing Jake.
They be
That's
killing
it,
Jake
yeah.
too.
So what does it really matter?
Even some of them
Nazis and all
niggas
these
in the
types of things.
KKK skinheads like here was Jake, man. Even like, you know, the whole skinhead thing, even here. You think it just goes
Yeah,
back
not
to
these
black,
EDO guys.
Can go back
Jake,
to
bro.
but
It's
it really goes
crazy.
back to Benjamin, Scar music and all that. But you know, you see a skinhead with the hoop earrings and
Yeah.
Dr. Martens.
And the Stone Island
Yeah,
cover
it's-
boys.
yeah,
They were always Stone
Yeah,
Island.
yeah. But guess what? If you go on their playlist, it's all Benjamites.
Yeah.
And they're dancing and shit, all fucked out. They're Jake,
Yeah.
them gypsies, a lot of them, bro. A lot of people are scattered everywhere, man. You know?
So, yeah. And it says, "Own special treasure from among all the peoples on earth. For all the earth belongs to me. And you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation."
so that's what I wanted to say as well. We carried on there, but and with that treasure, the Most High really treasures, right? But literally, we shine more than any other.
Jewels, isn't it?
Yeah, and Jake obviously is something that shines in the world, man. As much as whether it be good, whether we're wicked or good, we shine in this world, innit? Right? Because we're just that outstanding. You know, no matter what Jake is doing, we do it better. It's just as simple as that, man. And people gravitate to that. That's why everybody's trying to follow us what we're doing.
Yeah.
Whether we're being wicked or whether we be good, they try to emulate us, man. All day long they try to.
Yeah.
These Edomites, who are they?
Yeah.
These elites that meant to be the greatest of their nation. Where are they?
Yeah.
Sitting somewhere in a dark shadow
Yeah.
somewhere. Like they're not shining. They're not like on show like that. Because you show off prized possessions, isn't it?
It's deep because you know when you read throughout the scriptures and you read other historical books, yeah, they always show you on all these major empires in the world, all these empires, period. You just see an element of Jake there. So whether it's like or like Daniel, remember when they was going into Babylon, they got the old regal seed, like those learning wisdom, and then they taught them the Babylonian language, gave them new names, and then certain Egypt, Joseph in Egypt, like it was Joseph that made Egypt great. But then if you go into the other secular histories, it was Jake in Egypt doing little jobs that was making it great.
The proof
know?
of that is when you see Jake now, man.
Moses,
Yeah.
Moses was sorry to cut you off, man. Moses was seen as the grandson of Pharaoh. All right. So do you think? Remember, I believe he came. His heart turned to come to the people when he was like what 40 or
Yeah, he's up, yeah.
something like 40,
No, was it,
right?
yeah, I think it's up to
I believe it was 40. So he had 40 years being raised up. That's why he says he despised the pleasure of sin for a season. He had 40 years being raised up in Egypt. So that came with rank and influence. You know what I mean? He was doing things. If you go into history, it says he was involved in wars and campaigns or whatever it was. So he was doing stuff, man. So that's the Jake story, and all these empires of the Greeks, Rome, like Jake, that the sellout, Tiberius Julius Alexander. He was teaching Titus and Vespasian, that whole that house, man. He was a major conqueror when he was coming against Jake in 70 AD. So Jake pop up, man, in history. You know?
Keep going, man.
just another thing as well, because like hey,
Cletus
guys like Elon Musk, they might be paraded around as like some great guy on the earth, right? But let's be honest, man.
Understood.
He might be like some quote unquote richest man in the world, or whatever, right? But he's dry as fuck,
Right.
right? Most people would rather be someone like Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got a lot less money than him.
Yeah.
Just because he's cooler, man. Bruce,
Yeah. Before Elon Musk, man.
Because no one's trying to replicate Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Dressing how he dresses, acting how he acted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to do with that.
You know how long it took me to get, when he bought Twitter and he brought the sync in.
Yeah.
It took me ages. I was like, well, why is he bringing this? But I was like, oh, let that sink in. I was like, bro, that was deadest joke. I was like, bro, what is this guy on? But that's the heathens for you, right? But that's it. It's like, especially like when you're in these working environments. And we was talking before about the spirit, but we were talking about how and these heathens can say play the instrument, but they're just regurgitating. Okay, 1, 2, 1,
Bro,
1, 2.
it's like remember?
Yeah.
You remember that those two white brothers, Martin? Bro, these dudes, could like they would have to train so hard, and they're forcing to be on beat.
Oh, nah, them two are mad, bro. Nah, they must have been some kind of incest or something. Something. They were something weren't right there.
Guess what? They like.
but it's like comedians, right?
Yeah.
You can bust the same joke, but how it lands, how you deliver it, it's a difference, right?
It's a difference. Jake's the king of that. Exactly.
That's when you got greats like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and these different types of people. Esau bring the same joke, word for word, same joke. It don't hit the same way. Don't hit the same way.
And just in the same way, it's just like in these work environments. Yeah. In these work environments, you have what do you call it? Ease that are these heathens that can do the thing well in terms of what the book says. But certain times you need that Jake spirit to be just like, actually, it's better for us to just.
Jake could do something that's absolutely fucking stupid. Something retarded, and it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And people want to try and copy it.
That's true.
You know, he can make a complete cock up of the situation, and it will still be funny or something. It'll still go down because Jake just have that aura, that spirit with them. Esau's not made on the same level as us.
None of the heathens.
You know, that's right. None of the heathens, right? And that's why they all gravitate to us when it comes to things that are kind of provoked in the spirit.
And it makes me think of what Ezra said, man, in 2nd Ezra 6, near the end, where he's basically saying, Lord, he was lamenting. It was like, yo, so this is the situation. We're the best. Bro, all of this was made for us. Why don't we have an inheritance in the world?
Yep.
But that's part of our suffering in this side, right? To be looking at these heathens that are, bro, you have an Elamite straight look down on you. These times,
That
you
was
know he
Precept.
don't know what he's talking about,
Mm.
right? You know that back home in his country, bro. India's one of them places. I ain't never want to go India. And you think is you be hearing like loads of different people that will straight up say, even Indians will tell you, bro, you go in India
Don't go there.
and that because of X, Y, Z. Yeah, they will look. Yeah, they will look down on you as a Jake. You know, I'll be honest. I like my Moabite things and that, but they've got issues. Look
Like
at
or
their
love?
face. A lot of them can't walk. You know, you see that Moabite walk,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they'll
they
look
don't-
down on you as a Jake. But that's part of our suffering in this side. Having those individuals look down.
They,
on
they
us.
want to be you, but they don't want your status.
Yeah.
Because Jake's status is down right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
Right?
Paul
But they,
Moody said,
but
innit?
they like the fact that you're cool.
Be a nigga, but not with
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I got one. No, fight. Hosea 8:8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein there's no pleasure.
Yeah. So they think they're supposed to despise us, but really they want to be us, man.
Yeah.
Esau the most
Yeah.
wants to be like us.
Yeah, man, in the armies.
You know, because it's not like, oh yeah, there's nothing better about these nations. There's just
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
actually better about these nations, man. It's just that at this current time they have a status that we don't have.
Yeah.
The most size put us at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, well, you remember the older Malcolm in Chi-Town. Remember he brought out information in slavery. There was white women going to jail because they wanted to stay with a black man. They was literally going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's which I believe him to be a Jake Bill Burr. Because when you look
Oh,
into like
yes.
Bill Burr, he came up with Chappelle. Like when you watch Chappelle show, Bill Burr's in the back, in a lot of the scenes. But in his SNL monologue, he actually kind of goes into that, and the things used a lot of wisdom in that monologue. One of the reasons, once again, why I think that he's a Jake, right? He was talking about he was like, you white women, man, when basically you've gotten away scot free. He was saying, how is it like when I was he's referring to himself as white, when we were all doing good as white people, you lot were joining in with it, right? But then now they're coming at me. You're trying to pretend like you weren't with it. You weren't with it. And one of the things he touches on, and it was basically saying like if you wanted to deal with a black man and you got caught, you just cried rape, right? And then it was the way he ended it. That was like, yo, that was comedic genius, because then he basically was like, yeah, man, you know, but you're still my bitches, which is what they got pissed off about. Not the fact that they're hypocrites that actually had a lot to do with Jake getting killed during slavery, right? Which is why, yeah, you can deal with Edomite women, but that's still Esau.
Yeah.
No, we good.
Read that.
So,
Chat GBT, yeah?
Yeah.
Where, do you want me to start from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start
Sis-
from the paragraph up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says, a white woman was being imprisoned for marrying black men in slavery or post-slavery. Yes, there were periods in both slavery and post-slavery America and other places with racial caste systems, where it says where white women face imprisonment or other punishments for marrying or even being in relationships with black men. Here's the historical context.
Go back to the kingdom.
And it says, during slavery, 1600s to 1865 U.S. context, anti-miscegenation, am I saying that right?
Miscegenation.
Miscegenation laws from the mid-1600s, colonies like Virginia passed laws banning interracial marriage. The first known law was in Virginia, 1691, which stated that any white person who married a black person or Native American would face punishment, including banishment or imprisonment.
Yep.
White women who married enslaved or free black men could face fines, whipping,
Fine. Bro, getting whipped for a black man. You know?
or imprisonment.
Shit, get Eve to get whipped for you now. Wait,
Yeah. Fines, whipping, imprisonment, being banished from the colony,
Because they're race haters. You know,
Yeah.
so you know,
There you
Just
go.
for the love of the black man.
For a lot.
Just for like-
race trigger, that was it, race trigger.
Yeah, there's a lot still. They still face that pressure to this day because that hatred ain't ever stopped. Because I, which called the boy, boy that I went to school with, man, he went uni in one of them Northern England towns. And obviously, he was getting it in with the Beckys and that. And they straight told him, yeah, man, like we don't tell these white guys afterwards that we've been with black men because they won't basically.
They're dishonest.
Exactly.
So they won't bring you home to the mom and dad, man.
That's why it's funny, you know, you see like a white girl. Obviously, aside from them, the scattered Jakes, but I'm saying actually, Becky, she'll be with like a Jake Rasta, and she becomes Rasta with that little.
She joins in, innit?
Take on their spirit, innit?
Take on their spirit. That's really what's supposed to happen, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you deal with a woman long enough, they start learning
become
your
one
lingo.
flesh.
They become like, yeah, one flesh.
But in the world that Esau has portrayed via TV, right? He's making it seem like she's the one you're supposed to be aligning to what she's on,
yeah.
right? You know, this idea of happy wife, happy life, all of that nonsense.
Happy home, happy.
Well, we'll just go back to Adam and Eve to see how that works, isn't it? You know, that is the ultimate example of why that's not the case, why that shouldn't be the case. You know, because if you all follow that woman, man, bro.
Oh,
That's it.
Well, we have, we have it. I think we're having it. Look what's happened.
Yeah, and Esau, once again, that TV, man.
Back pain. I mean, it's fucked.
So I'll just say real quick, that TV man has done a number on this world, man. I forgot whether it was you or someone else that sent me the clip. It was basically going right now. There's a whole trend of basically these podcasters doing reads of women that have had a perfect husband and left them because they were looking for something more. But what there was basically, this person was basically going into is how really when you watch a lot of films that we have watched from our childhood, that's the story.
Yeah.
A woman, and it starts off with Titanic, where Rose had it all. She had she was on a Titanic. You know, that was for the elites, right? Not average person was able to go on the Titanic,
Cheated on her,
right? And she cheated on her man because she was looking for more,
Yeah.
right? And then that's just one
People
of
don't love him.
Well, that's Eve.
Mhm.
You know, Eve, she wanted more.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know, Eve was really being a feminist.
Yeah, the first
That's it, yeah.
feminist.
You know, she's really being a feminist. Like, look, this is what we have. But no, I spoke to the serpent though.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's the same desires that Esau has, right? Who can't be satisfied. Like, he can't be satisfied, and that's why they're never happy. They're always looking for something else.
Crazy.
Because they're never happy with the situation that they got.
But and Esau has perpetuated that, has built that more and more and more, right? He's built this world into a place where nothing runs. Once again, it's like, what's the number one fucking YouTube topic, man? You know, this whole beef between men and women. It's like, what are we even doing?
I have a precept. This is Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Wow.
But that's what's happening in the earth. Like, you know, like all these values of the foundational values that people are what's supposed to have. There's no real values out there.
But this is the same with the ruler, right? Because you know, we're talking about the husband, right? The woman takes on the spirit of the husband, right? Esau is spiritually the world's husband. These women follow after him. This whole world is under his influence, under his vibration, so they're following those same type of ways. And it's I don't know, some parts of the world is, you know, it's knocking on the door, trying to get people to convert to his ways, right? Some are resisting still, but they're slowly getting there, right? Because the influence, his spirit is on upon all people, right? So it's that same insatiable lust that he has is affecting the whole world, man. You know.
So I was going to add to what you were saying, Salakia, about, but that's the symbolism of the harlot, if you will, because you know you be every now and then
Commit whoredoms and
exactly. You know, you see a nice hoe and she's looking at you this way. It's like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. But that's what certain nations are in, that I can't do it, man. I ain't got a peas right now.
Yeah, but we're gonna do this for you, though. Oh, well, maybe just a little bit. Just a tip. You know, and until you know
Exactly.
next thing you know, you're getting F, didn't it? Like,
Exactly.
it's like, oh, what have I done?
Exactly.
What have I done? And now I got herpes.
Basically.
I don't know.
Herpes being feminism, man. That's
He's the herpes, bro. You know what I mean? And he just is. So every time he goes around these nations to corrupt, this is how that's the process, man. He knocks on the door, breaks you down. Oh, I can offer you this, offer you that. It's the serpent. It's
the
Satan.
border of wickedness.
Yeah, it's Satan trying to tempt you, tempt these
Yeah.
nations.
Hey, bro, just remember many years ago, there was that literally that white dude wearing a thick cap, and he spread like HIV.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They're
Eve.
Eves, yeah.
Like, he had like
Oh,
he had all pictures of them.
yes.
And it was like a
Oh,
standard.
he was trying to,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
It was a stand because he said that Eve gave it to him back in the day.
Oh.
So he literally was
Right
a
down.
square ass white dude,
Mhm.
and he had like 500 Eves, bro.
Yeah.
Spread it.
And all kind of Eves.
All
as
kinds
well.
of Eves.
All kind of Eves. It's like hood, Eve from the hood,
Yeah, yeah.
Eve from the office.
Corporate office Eve, church Eve,
Let's grab this real quick.
weave Eve.
Oh, man. Isaiah 60:2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. For Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
What's it? Esau, man.
Yeah, so this war is in complete darkness. It's out of course, out of order, out of whack,
Mm.
right? The same way it was during pre-flood. And the Lord had to bring great judgment to correct that. And this is why great judgment has to occur again, man, because everybody's going against the nature that the Most High established, right? Because nothing's functioning the way it should be. Everything's left its order.
Yeah.
You know, but evidently it can't operate this way, man. Right? The Most High will not allow it, man. This is what we're trying to warn you from. It's not, the plagues that you get from doing all these manners is one thing, right? That the Most High sends. But the fact that there's a point in time when the Most High is gonna fuck you, then fuck it all. Like I'm gonna do away with you, man. That's what you really meant to be fearing the Lord for behaving the way that you're behaving. But because you don't have no fear of the Lord, you think you could just get away and just rely on Esau to allow you to do these things. Because he'll give you a drug, he'll give you some medication. Go do this. You could be gay. Don't worry about HIV. We've got medicine you can take for that. Like, because he's the damn devil. But not understanding you're angering the Lord.
Yeah, that's always been the spirit of like Esau trying to find
Way around, yeah.
Like instead of doing righteousness, do wickedness, but still
Get around it.
try and achieve what you want to achieve. Like, you know what? Don't be a faggot. You ain't gonna don't commit adultery, right? Like, and you ain't gonna have these
Diseases and
viruses and STDs. But
Rampant, bro.
what does Esau push? Be a freak.
do as
and I
thou
got a
wilt.
job for you.
Do as thou wilt.
Do as thou wilt.
Don't worry about it. I got your back.
You know, that's
You shall not surely die.
yeah.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's all right.
That's a good point brother made, because it's like, instead of teaching sobriety, is that the word? Especially to these women, right? He's saying, yeah, do all your freakiness. Oh, you get pregnant? I've got this pill for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you catch something? I've got this pill for you. Don't worry. But
You can
do
afford
you.
it,
Yeah.
Which was the fruit, man.
Mhm.
The fruit of life.
Yeah.
Basically, even with it, there's another way to righteousness. You know what I mean? Sorry,
Do something.
there's another way outside of righteousness,
Yeah.
which is sin.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it's because Harari said that as well, right? You
Yeah.
got Harari. Basically, this
I hate
idea.
it.
That guy.
Oh,
that
smash
guy.
his stone.
Yeah, I think he's
He's
one
gonna
we're
pull
all gonna
darts
have
out
to
his
share
fucking
as well.
forehead.
It's like we're
You
gonna
see the veins in his forehead? It's like an alien.
we're gonna have to share vocab. We're gonna have to show Harari,
Yeah.
right? But basically, try.
No, he can just to the court. Just to the court.
Trump will just make him rap.
He might have like 100 of Irish just in him, something.
Just make him dance. You don't probably make Trump just tell jokes.
No, he goes like this. He's like,
Oh man. Oh man.
Trump's a
why did they all do the same dance?
Because he's Edomite.
Yeah, but even Theresa May, she was doing the same thing back in
Yeah,
where
she
she
did,
was like,
didn't
yeah, it's
she?
weird. It's weird.
The best thing.
Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. Pick a cut. Trump's a funny dude.
Yeah. Well, it's like just to fit, I'll give it to the sec. But basically, I'm building off of that, right? Is this idea of both of them are basic. Both those points is basically there is no longer a punishment for sin. There's no longer a punishment for, because it's like, not saying a child is punishment or whatever, but it's like catching the disease. What consequences? Yeah, because in Romans 1, it speaks about receiving a recompense of their error, which was meat. But Esau says, "Oh, yeah, you do that anyway. but there's not a consequence anymore because HIV, yeah, they take this pill.
Well, again, the Bible says, surely you should not die. That's what the
Yeah.
serpent came to me.
Or you should
Basically,
not die.
what he's saying is that there won't be no judgment for
Yeah.
it. Basically.
Which proves that fruit was sin, because
Mhm.
the scripture says of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. The wages of the sin is death.
And he even tried to, he even Satan, the serpent even tried to play it like the Most High would, he'll be understanding, that he'll actually be, he'll be with you kind of thing. Because once your eyes are open, you'll be like gods and all this kind of stuff.
He mixed
And he wants that.
That's it.
That's Esau.
Yeah, we see.
Go on, yeah.
It's in the book of Second Ezra 15, I'm start from 5. Behold, say the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
And so we have to keep in our minds, why do plagues happen? Right? Because of transgression of the law, right? These are punishments because of transgression of the law. They're not just something that just happened. Esau makes it sound like it's just happening, And if it does happen, although I've got an answer for it, but this happens because you're displeasing the Heavenly Father. Right? That's why these things exist. Yep.
For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their artful works are fulfilled.
Hurtful, right? Because how does it benefit anybody to catch these diseases or whatever, man? It's obviously damaging. It's obviously not. Yeah, it's not an advantage in the world, is it? Let's be real. So why would you want to be gay? It's not an advantage.
What are you gay?
Yeah,
why are you gay?
Why would you want to risk catching these diseases and that? Oh, but my feelings.
Fuck your
Love
feelings.
is love.
That's what they say.
If you got that perverse spirit and you like that, man, your whole life, your whole task in life now is to be a recluse, be a recluse, man, and fight those urges, man, and pray to the Lord, not to give in to your urges, because that's what Esau wants.
Yeah.
That's what Satan wants.
The scriptures talk against all manner of sexual deviancy. That's just the ones that are most rampant as well. But what's Esau pushing, especially by way of that adult entertainment, right? He's pushing what that was it mom and son, right? All just basically everything, man. Right?
No
Get
boundaries.
pregnant, all of that.
Yeah,
man.
no boundaries.
No boundaries, anything, man. Right? He basically just wants you to, delve into that sex magic.
And what makes it even worse, right? The people behind all these things are supposedly supposed to be, these small hats that believe in the scriptures.
That's it.
Why are they behind everything? That don't make no sense. I mean, that's a red flag automatically. Like these men, obviously of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? But no, they're the true people. We're just we got a chip on our shoulder. We're just angry, bro. Come on, man. You guys are too blind. You guys are too blind, man. Go on.
Exodus 15 and 8. I will hold my tongue. Therefore say, Exodus 15 and 7. Therefore say the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cries unto me, and the souls of the just complain continue.
Right? So the just complain about these things. We don't promote them. We don't, enable them. Right? This is why we're not going to get on with the world, because the world has been, been taught how to behave in this manner, and that it's okay. Okay, well, we started with the Heavenly Father and His order, His law. Right? So obviously we're not going to see eye to eye on most of these things. Right? But there is a judgment that's going to happen if you don't repent. And that's what we're trying to get across to you, man. And ultimately, if you can hear it, then great. Could be of the elect, isn't it? But majority, you're not going to hear it. So that means you are going to just be destroyed. So when you hear a message about going to slave and being destroyed, man, don't get upset. You're doing exactly what the Most High don't want you to do. Right? So it's not like we're judging you. We're not the judges per se. We are the judges, but we're not the one bringing the judgment.
We're not the executioners.
No, we're just simply telling you what the judgment would be or will be for how you behaving, Yep.
Another one.
Yep.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus 40, start from 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the fraud.
Right? It came for them, the wicked. So what do you think this fire is coming for them? Why do you think Babylon's going to get hit the worst? bro, that is the source of wickedness on this planet, man.
Yeah.
Deep wickedness is going on in that place,
Like,
and it permeates throughout the earth from
Permeates.
there.
Revelation 18. You know, let's read that. That's that wine, man. That's that
Mhm.
wine, man. You know,
The whole world's drunk on that
Spirit
shit.
is drunk, man. And now the nations are seeing the harmful effects, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Nations are broken.
Yeah. They're seeing it, man.
Reset.
Yeah.
Listen,
But this is where he's opening up. We didn't get to finish it. But the writing's on the wall for this place, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
yeah.
Everything is there to be seen that this place is on its way out. It's broken.
It's interesting you mentioned that. Remember a couple years ago, son,
Mhm.
they got back that message, man.
But yeah, shit. Yeah.
I believe it was Tekel. That's the symbol
Mhm.
they got or whatever. And basically, your days number, you found one thing.
Yeah.
You've been waiting the balances, basically.
That's right. And we've been telling you,
And-
we're
and-
supposed to be telling you this.
That's possibly telling you. It shook
Right.
them up.
They mentioned about the whole River Euphrates and the fire that was
Yeah.
there. You know, meaning the end, basically, right?
Well, the X over Babylon.
All of that is science. They might seem trivial to the average person,
But it's science, man.
but they are signs.
Mhm.
And like I say, all it takes you to be spiritual and take a look around you, man.
Yeah.
And just know that none of this stuff that you think you're heading towards, because you'll be given hope with all this technology that things are going to be great in the future.
Yeah.
None of this is working.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
hasn't been working.
Babylon's got to shine, man.
Financial corruption.
Yeah.
Especially America.
Wow.
Like most of business,
Yeah,
these retail chains,
infrastructure,
they're closing down.
Yeah.
The airport as well, they're closing doors as well.
Yeah, roads, buildings.
Because you check this, every time there's been like a revolution and technology's coming, yeah, it was great for the first, however long, it made jobs and all this kind of stuff, and the economy became fruitful or whatever, right? But look where it has led us. We're in a worse position than we ever was. You see what I'm saying? And so more technology is only going to lead to worse actions,
Yeah.
worse ramifications,
Mhm.
And they talk about it. They'll talk about it. They know where it leads to, but they expect you just to be cool with it anyway. All this AI, all this, replacing jobs and all this kind of stuff. How's that going to work in the future?
Mhm.
Unless they've already got an answer,
Exactly.
which we already know where it's going. This is why the mark of the beast is near, because they're ready to pull the plug on this place and just have you live off that.
And if your eyes are open, you can see that this man's getting ready. We're no longer at the point of 1,000 years.
Yeah, man.
Like we can't give you a spell. It might be this year, next year, whenever in it, right? We're gonna be here teaching as long as we can, depending on the environment that we're in. You know what I'm saying? But this isn't gonna be another 10, 9, 8 generations or whatever. This is gonna be no 1,000-year period, man. What the fuck
What's
does
left?
Esau need to do for 1,000 years to get,
He's
to get his
close.
mark?
He's there.
It already exists in the world.
Like,
The technology already exists. What does he need 1,000 years for?
I mean, can you really imagine these niggas with pink dreads?
Look how quick time's moved just in the last 100 years, man. What things have been
5
built up.
years since the vid.
This is what I'm saying. There's a lot that's happened just in these small amounts of time. More things have happened in these small space of time than it has in large portions of history, man. There's not 1,000 years beyond this. There's no way. There'll be no Earth. It'll be just space dust.
Yeah, man.
So Esau knows this, and if you're spiritual, you know it, because the signs are there to show you.
Yeah.
And so we're just waiting. We're just waiting to see when it's gonna drop.
Yeah.
But we can see that it's close.
Yeah, all the signs are there. You've seen what Trump is doing, going out there to DC. He basically took over DC. They've kind of half rolled it back to the point where now the DC police commissioner can maintain control of the police. But they basically said the federal government
Might as well get-
is going to.
It's just 9. Take Ezra's 9, please.
They basically said that the federal government was going to take over the police force, man. Right? And then when they're talking about, we're dealing with a crime, they're talking about you, Jake. And this is the thing that kind of got me. It's like, wait there, over here at least, all we hear about is how bad Chicago is. So it's just that you have people that are gonna be like, wait, if you're doing it to DC, then how comes you're not doing it to Chicago? And then after Chicago, how comes you're not doing it to here? How comes you're not doing it to there? Until basically,
It's that third restored.
mhm,
Because he's talking about using these the military to go into gangs and that kind of stuff, right? So what if they're criminals? Because the military is not meant to be used inside a nation. That's the whole part of the constitution or whatever, right? Even though they don't give a care, give a damn about that. but like they're not meant to, right? So if they're using it on criminals, they call gangs. When he decides to change the labels on certain people, and you become a criminal or a terrorist or a gang member, that means they can send the army after you
Because it's really that they use that T word for anyone who's
against
against
the
the status
government.
quo.
Yeah.
Right? Anything that don't believe that, because I forgot who said it, right? But apparently in V for Vendetta, as an example, they were coming up to people that had, say, the rainbow flag, and stuff in there, and it goes show it's like he's just gonna start moving who he wants to get, right? Which that one we can all
Because
get
he's the king of
behind.
labels. He's the king of labels, isn't it? He's labeled the whole earth, different nations, different names. He just labels everything, right? So he decides to change where you fall in things. You know, he's a high risk person, so we're gonna move into this category. You know, and now he's watching you 24/7. You know, and if you step out of line, you do something he don't want you to do. AI's watching you constantly. He's gonna send them after you, man. It's really quite. That's why they're gonna bust down your house. You know. So all it takes is one word only. One. He's a target. That's it. You know. And we know that's what's gonna happen to them in the Lord, man. Because we're the least liked in the nations. You know, Volker told us. Volker told us, man. You know, and like I say, people walk around here, they don't fucking like us, man.
Oh, got a piece up for that.
You know,
Sure.
but that's just part of our walk that we have to enjoy. You know.
This is Matthew 24 and verse.
You know that Edomite bitch the other week talking shit. Remember? There's some what Edomite bitch that came out. I think it was after camp. That came after. It was like, oh, why are you here? Or okay, so you're trying to get information out of us.
I remember the one where it was like we said something. There are kids in this park.
That might have been. She must have said that.
But it was because there are ones that have come up being intrigued. There was one where it was like toilets over there. It's like it's not.
They don't want us around. You know, but it's tough, isn't it? We don't want you around, but we've got to endure you, innit? Like, so, you know, it is what it is.
Quick one.
Mutual agreement.
Yeah.
This is Matthew 24, verse 9. NLT. It says, then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers.
Yeah, man, and like it's not far fetched to see that, because basically with the rise of social media, the levels of indoctrination, they control what you're supposed to be upset about. So and people get passionately like engulfed in like hating a particular thing because they've told you. So because they've been told you. So if you plaster us, you know, it's not, you know what I mean?
George Floyd was a perfect example of that, because you even had the Edomites over here in the UK going out protesting for this guy, because they were told they should protest for that guy, right? But these times there were better examples of Jake that have been like straight up like, bro, like he weren't doing anything.
Actual police brutality.
Like but they didn't focus on them ones. Because Esau always has an agenda.
Like that young Jake boy. You say could be Emmett Till. Remember? Tamir Rest. Like, bro, it was a toy gun, man.
Exactly.
Just smoked him. Like,
exactly.
Ridiculous.
And there was that other Jake, man, he was autistic. And they basically shot him up with ketamine, man. His final words. Oh, man. You could tell that man was just, he had his problems, man. They could have used that instead, but he was like, nah, that we need to evoke something else. You know, we need to use this character, and then we're gonna release it later on that it was a piece of SHIT.
He was in that bed. He just got smoked.
Yeah. That's it. But Esau does these things on purpose, man.
And guess what?
Creating chaos.
Chaos. You know, just to get, because Judah's he's an old lion, man. And, you know, right now the Lord is poking that line, man. Which then all the tribes will, you know, rise up.
Go for Ezra, It says 2 Ezra 9 from the top, and it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass.
Right, so who's doing that? Because you people out here might say, oh, well, it's the end of the world, or whatever, but what are you actually doing to measure the time?
Exactly.
Are you actually actively looking? No, you fucking ain't. That's our job. We do that. We measure the times. And some of these witches of war, these scholars out there, they might try to measure the time. You know, but you average people ain't trying to measure the time for nothing. You want this place to continue, so you're not looking for its end.
You know, it's actually mad because I think about that, and I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I've been like rewatching Sabrina, and one of the things that in the early seasons they really touch on is this idea of the mortal. Well, obviously, Sabrina's a witch, effectively immortal, right? And then just constantly talking about, but like the things that they care about, the things they think about, they're basically saying they're thinking on a mortal level,
Superficial.
They're not thinking on these bigger things, and that's like I was thinking about. It's like, bro, that really is the life that because when you hear these people that your family members or this, that, and the other, oh, why don't you do this? In your mind, it's like, well, I'll do it in the kingdom, man. I don't need to rush and do that now.
Like you look at the average person who does this guy here, for instance, like what do you think he's thinking about?
I don't think we want to know.
You're right. Yeah. But like I know it's not on the kingdom. I know it's not on the end of this world. I know it's not on any of those things, man.
Because you get a lot of people that are a little bit
Make a hand sandwich. Hand sandwich is wine. Like gammon.
Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese.
prepared, isn't it? Yeah. No, say
Yeah, pork scratchings. You know what you
yeah. I was gonna say you get people that they understand that this society is done.
Yeah.
But they're thinking that there is something else, that it's gonna be
Continuing
Moab,
yeah.
right? It's gonna be okay, American
Just a
Kingdom,
change of hands.
change your hands,
Same type of place.
same type of place, right? That this life as it is basically is gonna continue, right? But what we're coming through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. So no, this is it. This is the end of wickedness.
And when you think like that, it affects every decision that you make.
Yeah.
How you think.
Yeah.
I was explaining to bro, he was having a conversation earlier. It's like I operate in such a way that it's hard for other people to understand because of how I perceive things now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not my mindset is not really locked in here.
Like,
It's not.
Yeah.
So it's hard to explain something like that when their mindset is here.
Yeah.
So it sounds strange.
yeah, like even us, especially now, like even us brothers that have like young children or newborns. Man, I'm not thinking about my daughter being 19 here, man. I'm thinking of 19 in the kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about my son being 25 or older and he's gonna get married and I'm gonna put on his tie for him. I ain't thinking about that shit, bro. I'm thinking about us chilling in the chariot together in the kingdom.
But the people that are around us, once again, this idea of the mortal mind versus the immortal, the people around us aren't going to get that. They aren't going to be like, wait, why aren't you saving up for their university? They're going to have exactly.
But even last night before Jake, who I kind of know, he calls himself doing well now. So he's a broker for life insurance. So he was saying to me, yeah, bro, man, you got to make sure you get life insurance, man. So like, when you go with your kids, I'm like, bro, my life insurance is the truth. Like what you know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Because even if we pass for this faith, at least you're going to be raised back up in the kingdom.
That's right.
We
Works we follow.
Because in reality, what is money going to do for them at the end of the world? Money ain't going to mean shit. So what's the point of trying to hold money for the end? It's a nonsensical thing.
I have a precept.
Oh, okay.
shit,
Okay.
okay.
Can I go through that?
The book of Hebrews 13 and 14.
Oh, yeah.
For here have we no continuing city,
That's right.
but we seek one to come.
Yeah, man.
And mine is in the place to come, man.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do what we can to prepare ourselves for that one. So we're trying to get our minds right. We're trying to, if you've got children or you got a wife, maybe you have them on some sort of level where they understand certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
I know me, my boy, I talk to him, about the scriptures and the things that are happening in the world and stuff like that. Just so like when things are happening, he's a bit more grounded. Rather than bugging out, because the last thing you want is fucking bugging out a woman and a child when you're trying to navigate through shit. Right? So tell them certain things to kind of deal with.
Yeah, of course. Like, brothers take care of their responsibility. They do what we need to do. But we ain't got no long-term plans here. The scripture says in Second Ezra, like those who have businesses that they ain't gonna make much. That's why those who buy, it's a mentality. I'm not saying you can't have a business or whatever it is, But just know this is not
Go.
permanent.
And this is the thing, like, 'cause,
It's not temporary.
you know, when I first came in the troop, man, my boy, he was like, yeah, he was just back born when I came in the troop, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be here with himself, with his age now, having to deal with the things I have to deal with him.
Mm.
You know, school and jobs and these different types of things. I didn't think that I'd be able to doing it, but I didn't prepare for it. So I was kind of a little unprepared for dealing with that sort of situation.
Mm.
But if something seems reasonable, like it's
Real
fairly
bad,
close
yeah,
term
yeah.
type thing, then yeah, just deal with it, innit?
Yeah, that's
Don't
it.
just don't be like, just
Yeah,
like,
don't-
yeah,
yeah.
This
yeah,
was going down.
yeah.
So let me just
Don't give a shit about nothing.
Yeah, let me lease a Bentley.
Yeah,
Because the only thing you're gonna do is fuck yourself over in the long,
Yeah.
like, in the middle term, I guess.
The fucking
You know.
bills will come back your ass.
So if something seems like something you have to deal with in a short term type of thing, then yeah, just deal with it, man.
Deal with it.
Take things in small steps. You've got no 20-year plan for our children and what is it? I ain't thinking. I can't think that far. I can't. I don't know how. Like,
No way.
That's it.
you know.
How Shai in the Lord's Prayer spoke about that daily bread, man.
Daily bread.
So, it's sufficient for today is the evil
Sufficient.
thereof. So it's, once again, it's not, this thing about us, about this thing of ours is about balance in the regards of, on one hand, you can't be too worried about all of that, but then on the other hand, you kind of have to worry about not worry, but
Be aware.
be aware of certain things and be prepared, right? You may, if you know
Because that's what they're thinking soberly.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Because there are possibilities that you may have to deal with, man. So if it's a possibility, then yeah, sure.
That's
But in our minds, something that far ahead, like 20 years, is not really a possibility to us.
it.
If we get to like 18 years and now, maybe the next couple of years seem like a possibility now. So now I'm gonna have to deal with this situation now. But like, we're not counting on being here that long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Like the way things are, like next year could be fucking crazy, bro. Things are getting tough.
Trump is just doing the most.
Yeah,
man.
and he's still got another 3 years.
He's not even 1 year in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got another 3 years after this shit. So it don't look good. It don't look good at all. Man, I'm gonna be suffering next year, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna start feeling it like proper.
Once again, 300,000 Eves lost their jobs in
Yeah.
3 months, man.
The mark of the beast is close,
It's
man.
close. It's close.
And like I said, like this guy's got 3 years in term. Whether it takes the whole 3 years, who knows, man? But like, the guy's moving quick.
Even when you look at, shared the article yesterday, someone always say it's like the UK is moving very digital, and they're really ramping it up, right? And they've basically set the foundations of the I think what they call the one login,
Mhm.
right? What does that kind of sound like? This idea of a one login, right? And they're basically moving and making more and more of the systems digital, right? To what end? And then you start asking yourself, you start observing, okay, why are all of these different countries enacting
Working on
all
the
of
same
these
things.
these digital laws at the same time? Once again, the 18 plus adult entertainment one,
Yeah.
right? That was
a
the
big deal.
biggest Trojan horse ever, right? Because
He's on the surface, it looks noble.
Yeah.
exactly
Age
age
verification.
verification.
Yeah.
But then it's like if you want to go on Reddit and it's anything that is classed as not safe for work, right, which could be
Same
pretty
here.
much anything, right? You can't go on it. And then now it's just going to make it such that it's like anything over a certain thing. They're just going to be
Well,
like,
they're talking about that with YouTube.
yeah, exactly with
Oh,
YouTube,
okay.
right? Australia's enacting, I think it's Australia's enacting similar laws, right? So you then start
to verify
asking yourself,
yourself.
it's like, why are they all doing these things all at the same time?
So you got nowhere to go.
It's,
There you go.
it's to protect the children.
Yeah.
When in this kingdom you fucking
Children are
children.
Why didn't you
Exactly,
shut the porn industry down?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah, that's a real solution.
Why didn't you, cigarettes is cancerous, right? Why don't you stop selling the cigarettes?
Yeah.
Why don't you shut down these makers?
Hypocrites.
Or don't seem to do all that stuff though.
Yeah.
But you want to check on everybody else to make sure that so we know who they are.
You want to
Yeah,
do
man.
documentaries about Bonnie Blue? Channel 4 did a whole
Yeah.
documentary
Get
about
that bitch
Bonnie
off
Blue.
TV, man.
That 20, bro. I still can't believe she's 26, bro. She looks like she's
Yeah,
a
done out
40
here.
She looks like a 40-year-old cougar, bro.
Damn,
Fuck,
fucking lobster.
man, now, bro.
That's a
Lobster.
diss in the heart.
Lobster.
Red as hell, man.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you, though, it's just like, and that whole thing is a psyop. I'm sorry, that's a psyop. Why, just like Andrew Tate, why is she constantly being given this much airtime? Man?
Yeah.
You know, she's probably look into her hair, she's probably an Amlakite or something, man.
Don't be surprised. It's an embodiment of feminism right there. Yep.
What
Yeah,
have you
I've
got?
got a piece.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of what brothers were mentioning earlier. This is James 4. About not being here too long. James 4, verse 13, NLT, it says, "Look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and will stay there a year. We'll do business. We'll do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow?"
We don't. Right. This is why we can't give you a time either, man.
Yeah, it's
We have to
the
take
mindset.
every day as it comes. And yeah, like I say, you might have short-term, things you doing.
Yeah.
Places you are, and all these different types of things. Like tomorrow, I assume I'm going to be in the same place I am today.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know what's going to come next year.
Like,
Yeah.
like, even if you got savings, when the economy crashes, brothers are gonna be like, no, my $5,000 or 10, whatever you got. You're gonna be like, finally, man.
Everyone's getting
Please
reset.
protect me and my family
That's
and
it.
like in a brotherhood, and that's it.
You
You
know
know
what?
what,
Even
even
if
if-
no more.
It's become a lot more
Yeah,
simpler.
shit,
man.
man. I don't have
Exactly.
to work.
Exactly.
I don't got get on that forklift, man.
Exactly.
That's-
Even if in the moment you felt a little something, when you walk out and you see all of these people, these Edomites in pain, you're just gonna be like, yeah,
Panicking.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what the thing is, oh shit.
You might do the Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know the Pepsi, but with yak.
Hell yeah. That's it.
That's it.
You know, because that's it. It's like, yo, there is mass pain coming to
Yeah.
this world, man. And it's like, hey, will the scriptures talk about laughing at your calamity, man?
Yeah.
When I was referring to like, laughing at Jakes, I didn't want to get this thing of ours, but we're gonna be laughing when all of these people are suffering, man.
Because ain't nobody going to feel worse than those that are invested in themselves in this world, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a quick scripture.
Yeah, sure.
This is Ezekiel 12:27. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesied for times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord.
So it has to come to an end at some point, right?
It's come to pass, man.
And like I said, that's why we're commanded to measure the time.
Then shall they know prophet being among them.
But if you're not concerned about the time, then you're never going to know.
Exactly.
Get caught up.
Yeah.
It's funny, the whole talk of the economy, that's the one, whenever people walk past, right, when we're talking about scriptures breaking certain things down, you can see they've got that smugness on their face. But as soon as we mention, when this economy goes down, you can see the angst
Yeah.
in their faces. You can see them, because that they can see.
Yeah.
That they can see is a real
Possibility.
possibility.
Yeah.
They're thinking about their bills and they're thinking,
Mortgage.
people
Yeah.
are hurt out here.
I know that. I already thought it already. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not far off. That's the thing. So one of the things I always say is people will look at someone that, let's say, earns 200K a year, right? And yeah, they maybe do other things that maybe you can't do or whatever, what have you. However, they live like they earn 200K. So whereas you got a yard that's the equivalent of whatever, let's say just 100 grand or whatever, we know that's not how much houses cost, right? He's got a yard that is 3 or 4 times that, because he could afford a yard 3 or 4 times up. So when you're getting hurt, he's also getting hurt, right? They'll put on a smiley face, make it look like everything's blessed. Oh yeah, my house is worth £1 million or whatever. So okay, cool, but you're still gonna lose it.
That's it.
In the same way that a guy who's got a yard worth 100 grand is still gonna lose it, right? When the scriptures say rich and poor, right, it means exactly that, right? Which is why Esau's attacking everyone from every single different angle, man.
Everybody's going to need the chip. Everyone's going to need it because Esau's going to make sure you need it.
Yeah.
You know, the only people that are going to be
UBI.
really exempt from that are the elite.
Yeah.
And the most people that got 200K are not elite.
Yeah.
They're not classified as elite. They're middle class in this type of world.
Yeah, if even that, like.
Well, yeah, not for much longer. But like in comparison to the actual rich man, 200K is nothing.
It's not.
So you might as well be the middle
That
class.
is like spending money.
Yeah.
You know, because you're still getting taxed 40% on that 200 grand. So really, you're only really getting like
Yeah.
160
Yeah.
or whatever.
I think at that level it's even higher.
Is it?
It's special. It's like after
It's just like
149.
45%.
It's mad. And in terms of like marginal, well, I forget the term now, but that's it. The tax. In the ancient world, there would have long been a riot.
Oh
right?
yeah,
There
yeah,
would have
yeah.
long
yeah,
been
yeah,
a riot. When
Definitely.
you really look at how much these men are taxing you, and then how little you're getting back for it.
Who was that elite that made that quote of American people? Like if they knew What the
Tom,
schedule?
it's Ford, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
It's Ford,
Yeah. He basically said if
Henry Ford.
if the people of America knew truly what the economy was about, they'd be right to the morning.
You know, but this is why we've got movements going on right now. Hey, shut up, you're about to shut up. Stop. Stop. But this is why we've got movements going on right now. You've seen Gary Economics, you've seen him in that. You know, they're getting people on that movement, right? Talking about taxing the super rich, right? Because all the government wants to do is tax working people.
Even the tariff, the tariff for African people. I mean,
It benefits the rich, right? But everybody else underneath that suffers. And it's the same with the UK government. Oh, you just said
Oh
something.
no, yeah.
Yeah, same with the UK government. They're in debt. That's like all these nations are in debt. They need to bring money up from somewhere, right? And so usually they'll take it out of services or you know, they'll raise national insurance, tax, or whatever, right? But it usually affects little people, right? The elite have got ways to avoid all kind of taxes and shit. So it's like it's nothing to them, right? But they can't take from the poor anymore. There's no more money down the bottom. We do that fucking food banks and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're making decisions between food and heating.
That's,
People dying in the winter and shit.
yeah.
You know, so they can't take no more because then it'll be fucking crazy. It'll be a riots out here, man, for real. Right? So you go to those with a bit more money, you know, middle class, because they got a bit of change still. You can take from them. You know, you're not going to put them in abject poverty, but you're going to make it hard for them still because they actually own. Well,
Believe.
yeah, I mean, most of them probably own something like a house or something, right? But they have to pay for. So you're going to make that life hard for them still, right? But the elites to get off with it all the time, right? Because they're afraid, or they're going to move country and all this kind of business.
Yep. And they've got schemes and methods. So there's one method that I found out about recently, where it's like one of the ways to lower your tax bill is you can invest in a company. The company goes down, the HMRC will pay you back. The company does well. The company does well. You made a profit from your investment.
We can't do that. You know what I mean?
We're not even in a tax bracket where that's even tax effective.
You know what I mean? But they have so much more at their disposal, things that they could do, right? But like I said, they are generating more wealth. But everybody else is getting less.
Yeah.
Right? So exactly what the WF, you know, his goal is, right? To take everything.
Own nothing.
For people to own nothing, right? Because they seem to think, well, that's pressure on you to earn money and do this and do that. We're just gonna give you what you need, and you're gonna be happy. But you're gonna own nothing. That is exactly what you see happening.
It's the devil right there.
Right? So how can you, like they're saying, if you got your eyes open, you know what we're speaking of. The mark of the beast is what's gonna manage all of this.
Yep.
Right? So you people out there, you think there's some sort of future here. There is no future here for you. The future is for the elites. Right? It's an Elysium. You ever watch that movie Elysium? It is Elysium, man. They're gonna live on a higher level in the stars or whatever, right? And you're gonna be here on ground zero
In pain.
yeah, suffering. Being managed by fucking robots and AI.
It's the book of Ezekiel 7:5. That said the Lord power and evil, and only evil. Behold, is come.
Right? All the evil is coming. You can see these things are not benefiting people, man. The economy is going to drop. The black horse is going to raise his head. You're going to find that like bread is expensive. I was talking about bread the other day because I brought the scripture, right? Bread. I remember a time when bread was 80p. Obviously, probably cheaper than that at some point before that. But I remember when it was 80p. Right? It's like 130 now, 140 now. Almost double in price. Right? But imagine if it doubled again. Bread being £3.60 or whatever is a madness. And that automatically has an effect in your basket.
And this is once again this idea of the elites ain't affected in the same way, because these are the people that spend $2,000 on a meal anyway. So what?
And they got more of that to come. They have, because in comparison they have almost unlimited wealth. In comparison, like you know how much how long it would take to spend a million or 100 million. For a normal person, that'll take. They wouldn't have to spend it. For a normal person, they wouldn't have to spend it all.
Well, I did the calculations for it. For 1 million, if you spend 1,000 a day, it will take you 2.7 years to finish. But if you spend $1,000 or pounds a day with $1 billion, 2,700 years.
So they have that much wealth.
Crazy.
A lot of these guys, right? They're not in want for nothing. Bezos and these guys,
One thing.
Bezos and these guys, man, they've got so much money. It's like,
He shut down Venice.
yeah.
Sulaco.
But I say, if rent costs £1,000, you think that's going to really bother him? Yeah, it's going to cost him more, but there's nothing else he can spend his money on anyway. So you might as well just buy the bread.
He'll buy the factory.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's just not fair. It's just ain't fair.
No, from
You know?
time a man can shut down an entire city for his wedding.
But the thing, if you own like an airport, do you pay for the plane rides? You don't pay for that. Sure, you don't. You own a fucking company.
Yeah,
You just get on the fucking plane.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the advantage of owning everything. They don't have to pay for nothing. Everything is just you. You're the ones to suffer.
Yeah.
They always say, "Oh, the earth has been given into the hand of the
Exactly.
wicked."
This
So
is it.
That's it.
the
They're
entire
not in
earth is
trouble as
yeah,
other men. They ain't gonna worry about what you gotta worry about.
Yeah.
Family and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, that can affect everybody, but you know these guys are preparing bunkers with grain, grains and everywhere, seeds, everything. They know what's up. They're prepared.
Mhm.
These people are gonna be fucking suffering, man.
Yes, they are. So Psalm 73 from 3 for I was envious. Sorry, someone said that the precept.
just a little bit.
Yeah. Just,
Thus said Ezekiel 7:5. Thus said the Lord, power and evil and only evil. Behold, is come, an end is come. The hand is come. It watches for thee. Behold, it is come.
Right. So yeah, the end is coming, man. Some people can see it. Other people refuse to acknowledge it.
and some people are just completely taken by the distractions. You know, you can see certain people, as soon as a conversation gets deep, they get uncomfortable.
Yeah. They find it boring. They just
Find
wanna
it
change
boring.
the subject.
Yeah, because they
Go back to their bad boys.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of
Or why are you being so pessimistic? Or,
Yeah.
or this thing? They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
They don't want to turn on news. It's too much, too depressing. Yeah. But you don't want to deal with reality then. I'm not saying if news is reality, because let's be honest, it's
It's
not.
a lot.
But the world is in a state, a real bad state. And what's affecting other nations is going to affect here too.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing. What was it? London Has Fallen. Yeah, it was one of my favorite scenes because it was deep. It was like for far too long the war has been over there.
Yeah.
Right, and you really think about it because when he said, it, I was like, right, it's real. Because at the time I was like, bro, we had been at war with Afghanistan for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I never saw it. Was I ever scared?
Yeah. You wasn't worried about your house being bombed and nothing like that. It wasn't one of those things.
It's like you go to a wedding, you know that the wedding's gonna be calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there may be a roadman in there that family related to a roadman, but you didn't ever worry that a fucking drone was gonna take it out.
Yeah.
Whereas those man, they was like, yo, Abbas, he's a bit he hangs around with the wrong crowd. If we go to the wedding, we may die. And then some people die. They'll go weddings get taken out.
Even the point of food as well. Most of food is being wasted in this Western hemisphere compared to the underdeveloped countries.
Exactly.
So there's a time when when the table changed,
It's a shift.
yeah,
And it's gonna,
yes.
and it's gonna hurt these people, man. So even like when I go visit my mom every now and then, it's like, and one thing that always shocks me is how little meat they eat. Whereas like here you go,
Put steak on your plate, innit?
say you put steak, whatever, or you go walk past like a chicken shop and you see bare chicken in the chicken shop. Whereas in certain parts of the world, it's like you're having chicken, you're having just one drumstick, and that's it. You're having a drumstick, your other family members having a drumstick, and that's it. So then imagine when that kind of living starts coming here more and more, which is why you're seeing these Edomites get more and more pissed off. Because they're looking for someone to blame, and that someone they're being given proof that it is Jake, right?
But it's really your leaders. Trump throwing tariffs everywhere.
Exactly.
All this devaluing these currencies and that. Also, you're going to push your food prices up.
Yeah, because
And your wages are coming down ultimately. Because you're not keeping up with inflation.
Yep. So I was going to say, so it was this one of the new rules that came in tariff-wise. I think the name was something like de minimis. It was exemption. Basically, it was like goods under $800 were exempted from the tariffs, right? Which basically meant that they could go into the Americas tariff-free, right? And I was speaking to one guy who used to ship to the Americas, and he was like, "Yo, if I was still running that company right now, I'd fruit, because when you're shipping something that is that low, that is below that, and then suddenly it goes up by 15-20% in price, all of a sudden people don't want it. People don't want it. Say, and then the other rule being as well is like now they're billing on the origin country as opposed to the shipment country. So like if say you're sending over a Huawei phone to the States, you've got an auntie in the States, she needs a phone or whatever. And it's like, oh, get this Huawei or whatever, because it's from China or whatever, that's gonna have tariffs on it. Not the fact that you bought it here. They don't care that you bought it here. It was made in China. So now that is now gonna go to the Americans and have that tariff put on it. Which I'm like, bro, this is a madness. So really, that then is a double. That's a multiple tariff, because you paid tariffs for it to come to the UK, and then you're paying tariffs again for it to go to the United States. It's madness, and it's like, how are people going to survive? How are small businesses going to survive? The answer is that they're not meant to survive.
That's right. That's right.
You can grab this unless you got something quick.
I've got to read. Yeah, I don't.
Is it yours quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, get yours first. Get yours first.
I'll buy them.
No.
Okay.
Go.
Psalm 73 from 3 says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Right?
Because they're given the power.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. It says, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish." And even the bird had to concur. He said, "Con." You heard it, right? 3 times. That's it, right? They're corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. While you're hearing them more and more, they be diminishing. Is that the word? But basically, looking down on the plight of Jake. Oh, that was it. He wasn't that bad. Oh, it wasn't that bad. We're gonna find out for 1,000 years. You can confirm.
Gonna run a little experiment.
You know. It says say again.
1 week per day.
Exactly. Since they said this bro's gonna be kind to his Edomites.
No, we put him in and come with some in.
That's right, boy.
Oh man. Since they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth, therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. When you're looking at these Edomites, man, they be doing good. They prosper. Once again, it's like it's like hearing Harari say what he says, right? And you knowing that he's in a position of power, right? And that right now it appears that nothing is happening to him. It makes a blood boil, but it's calm, because we ultimately know, as the scripture is going to go into, that those individuals have a judgment coming for them.
Yep.
Right? It says verily, and it's not blood boil because it's like weekend, more just like, yo, how you gonna speak bad about the most? You just like, yo, that's the most high,
Bro,
bro.
it's absolutely madness, man. The
Yeah.
fact that you could be so proud to utter such words, right? Because you read, and again, it's even worse that you're claiming to be the people. You're a small hat. You're meant to be the most devout of all people on the earth.
That's it.
But it just shows you and your people are frauds, man.
That's it.
Nothing but damn fucking frauds, man. Because there's not meant to be one of you that's an unbeliever.
Mhm.
But here it is, you're playing the role of Satan,
That's
going
it.
against the Heavenly Father, man. And you got too much to fucking, your mouth's too big, man.
Yeah.
Talking too much. And that's why something bad's gonna happen to you, man.
Right. So verily I cleanse my heart in vain and wash my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. Because it's a reason why I like this priest. Because at first, you can kind of, it's almost like telling a story of someone on their bed, just like meditating. Right, because certain times you may be out and about and you be seeing, like, for instance, if you like go through Chelsea, walk through like Chelsea and that, seeing how these Edomites be living good, and you see, they got that kind of carefree glare in their eyes, right? And it's kind of it makes you go, right? But then what this is going into, because at first you look at that, but then the spirit will come back on you. It's like, Well, these are Edomites anyway, man. This is just
Yeah.
for this is their kingdom, right? And this their kingdom's done,
Yeah.
right, for a set time.
So you know, it keeps us balanced, man. Because we don't get
Exactly.
too overworked up about it.
Exactly.
You know, because it's easy to get angry with the shit that's going on, right?
That's it.
But we know they're at our end. So we know it's not going to last.
Yeah.
This is their time, and this is our time to be under these curses and have to endure these things. So we just take it as it is, man.
Mhm.
You know, but we know, you know these devils are going to fall eventually,
That's right.
and once they fall, they ain't going to rise again.
Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction.
Yeah. Which tells you, man, that none of these choices they're making is of themselves.
Mhm.
The Most High has set that path before them.
That's right.
And it's a slippery path,
Mhm.
which they're going to definitely 100% fall off, right, and be destroyed. But the Most High has set them on his path, right?
How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh. So, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins.
So we kind of link this up now with Revelations 13 and the image of the beast, right? The Most High despises what he's created on the earth. Heavily despises it, man. And this is why we stand here claiming those things. Proclaiming those things the Most High despises and hates, because we hate it too. You know? And you can't expect nothing to happen other than what is about to happen. The Lord flooded the earth one time before, brought great judgment upon the earth, man, because of such things. But you're here trying to play that role again. You've only got one outcome. You know?
So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee, and thou hast holden me by my right hand. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted for that one. Yeah, you know. But once again, it's just that idea of, you know, he's right now. He's doing good. Right now, he's got the fatness of the earth, right? But that's why you've got all of the different symbolisms and imagery throughout the scriptures. For instance, one, right? You go back to the birth of Jacob and Esau, right? And then the imagery of Jacob holding the heel of Esau, right, representing the fact that he was going to be taken down, which is why, and it expounds more about that in Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Then also you got the statue in Daniel, and where was it hit, man? It was the feet, right? And that rock that hit it was representative of Yahweh Shai, basically coming in and taking out this kingdom. Daniel 7, when it says the saints, right, shall take the kingdom, right? Not of ourselves. Yahweh Shai, the Lord is going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, to come and do that for us, and that is Esau's end, right? That's why it was Ezekiel 28:9 as well speaks about, you know, will thou basically be a God before those that take thee down? Whereas I know you're gonna be a man, right? Right now, Esau has elevated himself to God's status
Above what he is.
exactly, but the Lord is gonna remind him that he's just remind the world that he's just the basis of men, right?
Well, it's not even that he's the base man. That the Most High is the Most High.
Yeah.
Because he's going to glorify his name. Look, it's not. This thing, Esau is so fucking insignificant. Ultimately,
Yeah.
it's not about proving the world that he's not anything. We already know he's not nothing. The Most High already knows he's not nothing, man. Right? The Most High is going to show the world that he is. That he is the one that everyone should be fearing.
God, because Isaiah 45:15 says, "Verily thou art the hidest thyself," right? Because it's probably really good to think about it. The Lord allowed these nations to put his children into the most abject slavery. You know, I think it was not reckoned among the nations. You be around certain, once again, I'll give you that example. You be around Elamites or Moabites or Edomites, first like Edomites, and these Edomites will be looking down on them, right? But that these times, right, when the Lord corrects everything, right, he's just gonna be like, damn, yo, the Most High's out there, man. He's just been there,
And you're going to fear.
yeah.
Are you going to see who his children are? And like, shit. Yeah, we fucked with them, you know?
Right, that's Wisdom, the 5th chapter.
And you're going to be like, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah.
And now this punishment that we're receiving, it's like us having to acknowledge that the reason why we're being chastised is because we deserved it, right? We sinned against the Lord, so we receive his chastisement. That's what the other nation is going to understand.
Exactly. Yeah, well, once again, Wisdom 5 goes into that, man. We fools accounted his life madness. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High? Therefore, we have erred, right? What hath pride and wanton got us, man? That's what it goes into, man.
When they finally realized, he was realized that meme's gonna be in their head at this moment of time. He knew
He fucked up. Bring it out.
Going to hell now.
Zechariah 1:15. And I am very so displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
But I thought he loved them. No, he's displeased with them. That's how he feels. That's why he's bringing great wrath upon the earth. Yep.
For I was but a little displeased, and they have poured their affliction.
So before, yeah, you were just heaving, doing some madness. Yeah, you kind of winding me up. But you're just heaving, you're acting mad. But then what did you go and do? Oh, you went and, put my people in slavery and dealt with them deceitfully and treacherously and violently. You think I'm just going to sit there and let it slide? No, you forwarded the affliction. It's got worse now. You've exponentially increased the wrath that was going to come upon you. Same thing with the Canaanites. Before we went to the land, they were allowed to accumulate.
Yeah.
Accumulate their wickedness, so the Lord brought great judgment upon them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I was just like, imagine like sending your let's say you got a bad son or whatever in this world. You send them to your parents to get so they're not the child's living with their grandparents and say, yo, you need to act up, beat him, right? You expect to beat him. But if they kill him, it's gonna be like, bro, I never told you to kill my child, I just told you to beat him. That's basically what Esau did, man. He was just giving into your hand to get whooped, but you went too far, man.
100%. But again, you were set up to be that whooping stick, right? So you could be ultimately judged at the end of it, because you was always going to go too far.
Yeah.
He was always going to do that, right? So the Lord had an excuse against you, right, to judge you with great judgment, man. And best believe it is a great judgment. To be erased from the earth is a great judgment, man. That's never been heard of before. That you ain't even going to come back as a nation. These heathens are going to come back, but you ain't going to come back, man.
Real quick, from Isaiah 47:6, I was wroth with my people, I polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Because you know how it should have worked out? Yeah, the Lord put us in slavery underneath you, right? But it should have been like how David treated King Saul. David was knowing he was going to be king. David knew Saul was going off. But could David do anything against Saul? No, because he respected that he was the Lord's anointed.
Yeah.
You nations should have respected and understood that we're the Lord's anointed, right? And treat us with with some kind of dignity, man.
Yes.
Some kind of fucking dignity. Yeah. But no, you went all in, man. You went all into the state. We don't even know the fuck we are anymore. And I wanted to bring that out. I actually wanted to go into that topic today. Spirit led it out somewhere else, right? But the ox know if it's on about my people know.
No, they don't.
No, yeah, it doesn't know with me. Let me read it because I'm going to butcher it.
Isaiah 1.
If you can go with me, yeah. But I was going to mention that because you still got Israelites today rejecting who they are. It's like, bro, you're the best people on the planet. I know we're going for curses right now, but you actually are the best people of the Lord, man. And you're rejecting that to be with some Edomite, to uphold some Edomite values, some shit. To uphold the other nations. Why? The Lord blessed you. Oh, the Israelites, they're evil. Well, it's dumb. Because you're an Israelite whether you know it or not, or believe it or not. But if you don't want to accept the Lord and his word, then you're just going to be destroyed with the heathen. But it would really behoove you to get right with the Lord.
The book of Isaiah 1:3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider.
Right? So Esau dealt with us in such a way that we can't even recognize who we are anymore. And that's just one of the, that's just maybe a little less like, because Esau is very violent with us, right? And you might consider that part less violent, the fact that he just took away our identity. But that might be the biggest crime. Taking away our identity. And then posting himself up as us, being an imposter. Right? Because you really destroyed us, man, on an unknown level. All the captivity we've been in before was never like that. We always knew we was Israelites. But you took it another step further, man. And you continue to this day with that agenda to keep us destroyed as a people. We're not just simply in captivity, man. We're just fucking, we're lost. We're done. Right? It's only through the Spirit of the Lord that certain men have risen up. But for the most part, our people still reject the doctrine,
Mhm.
still reject their identity. You know, and that's something they're gonna have to learn in the kingdom. You know, but this is your work. You did this, and the Most High is like, nah, you did too much, man. You know,
Finish. Fine. It's Isaiah 30, verse 9, NLT. It says, but these people are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions. They tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
but they don't want us out here.
Mm. Yeah.
They don't want to hear repent from us.
Yeah.
They want to go to the church, Christian church that Esau set up for them, and tell them, yeah, we love everybody.
All lies.
You know, because that makes them feel good. Because they feel like being angry is a sin or something. No, it should say be ye angry, is sin not. You can be angry, but you have to do it in righteousness. You can't just be angry, you know, but you have a right to be angry about some things, right? Hate the evil, love the good. And nothing but evil has been done unto us though. So you can't love the perpetrator of that evil. That's crazy. Oh, but they're not all bad. Bro, none of them want to see you ascend to what you are. And therefore they're an adversary there. Because they don't want to accept you as their Lord.
Yeah.
they don't want to have that. As much as they talk about, oh yeah, you're all right, yeah.
Well, that's
None of them would ever want to bow at your feet.
Yeah.
Because you are an actual sovereign on the earth. And they would never want to bow to you. Right? Because they see themselves as superior. Because they're in power. Right? And so they are against us. They are wicked. Right? And so they don't deserve this get out of jail card that you're trying to give them. Because you ain't got it to give it anyway. Because the Most High ain't giving no one a get out of jail free card, man. It's all plain in black and white.
Yeah.
But you reject it because you don't want it to be that way. You're stubborn. Because Esau got you loving him, man. The Stockholm syndrome effect.
That's it. Yeah, most rejections they come with the speed of Saul, you know, because when Saul was commanded by Mosiah to kill the king of what? Midian, I believe. Okay. But he didn't do it, you know. So when Samuel came and said, what? Yeah, you
You talking about Agag?
yeah. He's Agag.
You talking about Agag? Yeah. The Amalekite.
Yeah, so Mosiah said, well, through Samuel, Mosiah said, well, he rejected Saul. So the same as these two Pedophiles people, Mosiah reject them the same way because they don't take heed of the word of Mosiah.
rebellion is as a sin
To
of
the
witchcraft. In fact, that is someone there because
Okay.
Proverbs 1, isn't it? You know.
Verse 10, it says, they tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
They don't want to hear America's going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
They want America to thrive and to long live America. Because they see a world for themselves here. And that's why I say being invested is going to be the biggest part of these people downfall, man. Being invested here is going to hurt so much more than it's going to bother us.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for us, but we want this place to go. So it's like, we don't care.
Scripture says where there is no vision, the people perisheth. Because for us, we can see the kingdom, right? We can see the downfall of this place. We can see, right now you see brothers are changing stance. As the ankles are, a bit, back exactly. You see every now a little bit of a shake and stuff like that because we're like, but we understand that this ain't forever, right? Going back to that point earlier on, so we have immortal thoughts, right? We understand that there is something better to come, right? And that's really what it is. These people, they don't know what's to come, which is why the idea of this being over is so worrying to them, because they're like, what next? Better. That's what's next, right? Because this is the worst case scenario, regardless of ChatGPT, right? This is the worst case scenario. This is the worst existence ever to have existed. Okay.
And walking chopping there.
Yeah.
That's
Man. What gets out as well, but one thing I think about every now and then is about you got children with cancer in this world, man. Yeah. That's fucked up. Got children with straight up cancer, man. Right, but that's what would happen. Like, this is just the result of sin.
That's
The
it.
result of wickedness.
That's the only reason these things exist. All these bad things. Because of sin.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, Satan's out here trying to convince you that it's not all bad. Just carry on doing what you're doing. Nothing to see here.
Reset. Isaiah 24 and verse 4 NLT. The earth mourns and dries up, and the crops waste away and wither. Even the greatest people on earth waste away. The earth suffers for the sins of its people, for they have twisted God's instruction, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant. Therefore, a curse consumes the earth. Its people must pay the price for their sin.
That's right. They 24 and 5 in the NLT.
Yeah, beautiful. They are destroyed by fire, and only a few are left alive.
And that's what these people don't want to accept, don't want to acknowledge. The fact that the Lord has instructions. But Esau tells you, oh, don't worry about the instructions. Just listen to me, because I know better.
Oh, well, because take my words in my mouth.
Yeah, since you
hate
yeah,
instruction.
that's right. You hate instruction, man.
And that fire is the second death, you know, which is going to come by the way of nuclear missile and concentration fire from the child of the heavenly Father, man, to ban the wicked, you know.
It's necessary.
So all that do wickedly. So, right, and that's why the only elect are going to be saved ultimately. Right, and then in the kingdom, the rest of our people are going to come back as our children. But these people are going to have to be punished for the transgressions, man, for the wickedness in the earth. And so this is not a save everybody mission. The Lord is a part of this. Part of the mission is judgment. You know. Yep. Any more? That was it.
On that, yes.
Yeah. It's the book of Isaiah 31 and 1. We start from 1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Because you see the power of Esau, you see the wealth that he's accumulated, the technology that he has. You think that this guy's gonna be head of the ship forever, because he's just doing more and more, right? He's building these next things that are gonna, do X, Y, and Z. Got AI, got all these different types of technology he's got going on, right? And you just think, yeah, he's got the future sealed for him, and then we're just gonna follow him, and we're gonna be all right. But like I mentioned, all this technology that he's brought into this world, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right now, or does it mean that further down the line you're gonna do worse? Because like I said, Esau, he ain't telling you what he's got this technology for. He ain't telling you why he's rebuilding it.
Or even the fact that he legalized like assisted suicide as well. I'm just there like, yeah, he's just gonna make so that certain, or especially like older people, that they just choose to off themselves, man. You know.
So Esau is a murder from the beginning.
Because let's take a look at technology in a realistic type of way, right? Because the same decision they're making now is the same as they made back in the previous revolution, right? If you, as a businessman or economist or anything like that, politician that deals with like progression of a nation, right? How does bringing like machinery? Yes, it helps build things quicker, right? But what is the need of something being built quicker? If you know you're going to displace a whole bunch of people at work by bringing the machines, how does that help people? It only helps the people making the things, which are the rich, and that is the pattern you see. The rich are are benefiting off the technology, right? Yeah, you get your job and it's easier. Yeah, your job is easier now. You can different types of tools or whatever, right? But eventually you're surplus the requirements, and then you have to go find another job. You get pushed down the chain of good jobs.
And then now the guy that used to work at a Google is now working at the Amazon factory, and the guy that would have worked at the Amazon factory can no longer work at the Amazon because you just get that displacement.
You get pushed further and further down. But they're able to go up and up and up. Right? So again, the next decision is being made with the whole AI thing. Is like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring in this AI. Yeah, it's gonna benefit the owners of these companies because they're gonna save money, right? They're gonna do things quicker. Right? They're gonna sell more products or whatever all across the world, right? But who's not gonna benefit so much?
And then the worst case is then when everyone's lost their jobs, who's gonna buy the products anyway?
So, like I say, so
Yeah.
if you're a real business person or an economist or like a politician that deals with building, like I mentioned, how does that make any sense? There's a sustainable way to do something, sustainable growth, but it's been rapid.
Mm.
Growth has been rapid,
Oh,
That's
and
why-
knowledge shall be increased.
right? Knowledge shall be increased, but also the devil will come with great wealth because you have a short time, because he's on a short time span. That's why things have been moving rapid because the Most High is pushing it forward. Right, so a lot's happened in the last 100 years.
Yeah.
A lot has happened, right? And brother just mentioned since COVID, a lot has happened. In short space of time, a lot is happening now. Before we had chariots for
Yeah.
thousands of years, just having chariots.
Most of human history.
Yeah.
Within the last maybe 200 years, well, when the first
What?
car come out,
What? But late,
1910
early 1900s.
or something.
Yeah.
We haven't got engines in cars.
Yeah.
We don't need horses no more.
Yeah.
Horses got made redundant. Now I don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing. What are the horses doing?
Mhm.
I don't know what horses do. I don't know what they're doing.
What you call they're being ridden in Chelsea.
Yeah. So Esau has been moving quick because we're in that time span, in that scope of time where things have to move quickly. And so none of this is sustainable. That's why it's all out of whack. Everything is being brought to judgment. And hence why there's so much people on the planet too.
As you said before,
Population's grown exponentially in this time also. Despite there being abortion clinics and all these things like that. I mean, this growth has been rapid. Right? There's 8 billion people on the planet now.
Yeah.
It's all because we're in this end time.
That's that.
Right? And judgment is about to take place.
You know what? That's even funny. Just like I know you got a point, but it's even interesting because it's just like we're now at a point where when you're looking at a lot of societies, the birth rate is now on the cliff. Where it's just like you get certain like cultures. Like, I didn't even know Italy was bad as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was South Korea's the
Because
worst.
they're broke.
Bro,
They're
people-
broke.
Yeah,
they're showing the tune of man is.
yeah, yeah.
Was so high.
Yeah, that they did.
That's also a real factor coming in
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
Man, testosterone levels are way down compared to like even just last generation type
Yeah.
thing. So that everything that you've watched or seen in movies, I know you make fun of because it's in a movie, but look at where you're going.
Exactly.
Look at what's happening. Is it not similar to what we're watching?
But if big get to be, you say what you wanna give them in like a concept to me. So, I mean for contraception. I mean to women
Yeah.
to block them in
Exactly.
babies and stuff.
Yeah. Because humans are a problem.
Exactly.
More humans is a problem. Because that's the only way they can control the CO2, right?
Mm,
He said that,
yeah.
right? Which means people got to be unborn,
Yeah.
and all these different types of things here.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of these poor nations depend on having large families.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But it's funny because you had made that point about large population, and then it's like, yeah, but now that we're coming up to the end, it's like, Lord's like, cool, man. All right, I'm getting ready to kill this spot to do my judgment anyway. So I just kind of find that interesting. But it's just mainly in the first world where that's really an issue.
This really is the end days, man.
Yeah.
That's why things move so quickly in these eras.
Yeah.
You know?
So like just on the birth rate thing, you got certain countries like South Korea's got 2.3 generations left. Italy's got like 4 generations left. So in like basically just over it, that means Rob's ain't gonna be here. But basically, assuming things would stay the same, there's only like 100 years left of Italian. Just over 100. Which is mad, but that's Esau in power, right? Because what did the Lord say? The Lord, because when you do the word search, fruitful and multiply, it's mentioned like 4 or 5 times in the first 5 or 6 chapters in Genesis, man, right? Because the Lord, that's what the Lord is about. He's about life, right? But what does it say about Esau in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that he is as death and cannot be satisfied? Because you would think hearing that a nation has 4 generations left would be like, stop everything, we need to solve this.
Yeah.
But it's not, right? That was something for me anyway. I'm just, because they talk about this as a matter of national security, that sounds like a matter of national security. You know what I'm saying? But Esau is the man, he is as death, as the scripture said.
You've got the Barbados coming to invade you and overtake you.
Exactly.
It's a small little island. It just come and roll up in Italy to take it over.
Yeah.
You've got no man to fight for you no more.
That's it. And the thing about that whole birth rate thing is it what happens is after a point you get a change in like how laws are made. right? Because right now laws, there are children, so you create laws, assuming all of this stuff is actually real. Like we understand really what goes on behind the scenes, but you make laws because of people or for families. So you have child tax credits, you have this stuff about or the free nursery and stuff like that. But as you start having less and less children, guess what? The laws start flipping to start taking care of the elderly population. So then what happens is it exacerbates that thing. So the little that certain families were using from the government to try and have children, all of those policies start going, right? To the point where once again you end up with this roller coaster of basically the end of a nation.
And you know, these nations, because they've been built up on having such a population, and now it's declining, right? To maintain that infrastructure now is non-existent.
Exactly.
Because you haven't got the people to work, you haven't got the people to get taxes off. You know, so you've got no reason to keep paces, because you've got the funds anyway. You got people's GDP can't be high because people are not buying. There's not enough people anyway. So everything's dependent on your population, and if it's not where it needs to be, if it's not being managed correctly, then you're gonna suffer, man. Because you already got a finite piece of land, you know, and like I said, it's been built up, but now it's useless now. You know, you need to have, you know, get some babies popping.
That's it.
It's like the Georgia Guidestone.
Exactly. Yeah. When it's like when I did the vid, that's one of the things that I touched on, because that is the elite's plan. Right? Reduce the pop down to 500 million, right?
That's right. The book of Ecclesiasticus 10, I mean, start from 1, say, a wise judge will instruct his people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be fruitful
And
and multiply.
That's right.
Because let's be real, who don't want to get in it, right? And it's interesting when you really look into why a lot of people aren't having children. A lot of it goes down to economic policy. Well, from time you make it prohibitively expensive to have children, but then you tell people from a young age that this is the process in which you have children, i.e. you go to school, you go to university, you get a job, you get married, you buy a house, you have children, in that order. That is what was ingrained. I was what was ingrained to me from a young age. So if you can't afford to get married, if you can't buy a house, where are you going to have children in that life? So a lot of it comes down to that economic policy. And that's before you've even spoken about any of the pharmaceuticals that have been pushed. Because you get certain women that have been on birth control for years. They haven't had a period in like 5 years. And then now they get married. Oh, I want to have children, but their womb doesn't work.
That's it, yeah. Or doing abortion as well, is it?
Yeah.
As goes on to say, well, and the government of prudent man is well ordered, and the judge of the people is himself.
And you can see none of these policies that these Edomites bring into the world working. It's working for them ultimately because it ain't working for you.
But
You know,
but then ultimately it's not working for
It's
them
not working,
either.
it's not. Most are playing games out here.
What do they say? 4D chess.
Yeah. Right. So these policies that are coming in, they're supposed to be helping the country, which we know that's not the goal of these politicians, right? To help the country. We know it's not that. They're there working for the elites. They're there to benefit the elites' plans, right? So whatever decisions that they make don't help you, and you could tell it's happening because you're feeling worse and worse every fucking year.
Yeah.
They're not feeling worse. Keir Starmer is all right. He's all right. He's good. He ain't worried about shit.
Yeah.
It's you, Granny, everybody that's worried, concerned, like the worker is concerned about what's gonna be like. It's gonna be like September or when the October. You know, everyone's concerned, right? Because next year is gonna be worse than this year, and everybody knows it. You can't say you're not here to save nothing, right? So none of the thing that you're doing is here to benefit the people. Only the masters.
Can I interject with a precept? I'll give it back. This is Daniel 8:25, which you know is just talking about Antiochus. It can be used in this regard as well, in this realm as well. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He also shall stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right, just wanted to touch on that thing about policies, man. Right, he will come out with certain policies that ultimately are to improve, not to improve, but to further his agenda. They're not to improve the quality of life. And yeah, I've mentioned different nations and stuff like that, right? But the thing is, when Esau, when you're looking at these other nations, you gotta understand. Scripture says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? When you're looking at a company like a Samsung and whatever, what have you, Samsung basically runs South Korea, right? But then when you look at how they live, there will be the elites of that particular land, so you can very easily believe that they'll be interlinked with these major families, with these major, whether it be, maybe not by blood, but they'll be linked in with the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, yada yada yada, and they'll be pushing in policies that are detrimental to the nation, right? And just proving the point that this is just an Edomite a way that everyone in the world is ultimately living.
Everybody's crashing out, isn't it?
Yeah, crashing out.
Because-
Yeah,
because-
it's lucky.
yeah, that's why you don't care about the welfare of the people. And
Exactly.
everything.
Because
Exactly.
it all works for his benefit anyway. He wants, the stress of nations.
That's it. Yeah.
He wants it.
Yeah.
So this is all part of his plan anyway.
Yeah. 100%. Like, even what do you call it? It was an Edomite thing that was running just along the way there, looking good and that. But he wants to basically criminalize looking at women. Like, you see it on when you're on public transport in London, right? Staring is sexual harassment. And just there like, whoa. So these times as a man, you may be like, oh, she looks good.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, yeah, all right, cool, let me stand up, go do my thing. And then you in your own mind are remembering that. And it's like, fuck. The thing is, like, you want to do it, she'll want you to do it, but then some third party, because that's one of the messages it pushes. One of the messages
If you see something.
if you see something, it will be like distract with a question. So here it is, she wants to get wheeled, you want to wheel her. And someone else,
Yeah, it's been a theme, yeah.
it's like, ma'am,
Do you feel
do
safe?
you feel safe? And in her mind, she's like, fuck.
Destroyed the mood.
Destroy the mood, everything like that. But those are the things that Esau is very much pushing in the world, so that people are scared to have those conversations. A lot of people,
These definitions are stretched, man. Sexual
Stretch.
harassment.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment.
But looking.
Harassment, like maybe you're bugging someone out, you may it's harassment. If you're following someone, yeah, it's but just to look at somebody and you sit there admiring, it's like what? I'm looking at the tree. Well, it's like you're harassing the tree because I'm looking at the tree. I'm just watching the tree, bro. Like I watch the squirrel because it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you, man? I'm looking at something because I admire what I'm looking at, innit? And I can understand it. There's a point where it's creepy. I get that. But like, who gets to decide when it's creepy?
Exactly.
Because if it's the woman now, obviously it's going to be quicker than what you say.
It depends on whether she finds you attractive.
Exactly.
That's really
exactly that.
Because that's the thing. That's what Esau does once again with his witchcraft and his media, right? Because if I remember correctly, the whole Sarah Everard, where he was shooting the girl the Becky that was killed in Clapham by the police officer, right? It basically came out. There's different reports, but I remember hearing that he basically chopped her up with some magic. He did a madness, but then they,
It was an extreme situation.
but then they lumped that in with you going your babes. Two
Yeah.
very different things. Two very different things.
Start making adverts of that stuff as well.
But but once again, it's one of the reasons why we decide and desire to be out of this kingdom. It's like, I know you still hold something.
You only say Ecclesiasticus 10:2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
So the judge of our people, the ruler of this world, is wicked. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? So the ruler of this world is wicked. And what does he advocate? Wickedness. Right? So everybody is under this vibration of wickedness and behaving wickedly. Right? But they're being told at the same time it's not wicked. Again, that serpent mentality. Telling Eve that you surely shan't die. It's okay, it's safe. Consuming this wisdom, this knowledge is okay. It's not going to do you no harm. But look around you. Is it not causing harm? This knowledge that these people are under, is it not causing harm? But you're trying to kid yourself that life is right. Nothing to see here.
As goes on, and what manner of man the ruler of the seat is, such are all they that dwell therein. And wise king,
It's why you walk around and you observe these people. These people are bugged out, man. You be seeing them or just listening to them. every now and then they'll outwardly show, they'll have something on them that will show you without having to talk to them that they're bugged out, whether it be their hair color or like the bull nose ring,
Yeah.
right, or the like the weird tattoo. But yesterday, which was a woman, the thing is, she had a tattoo. It wasn't. She just had painted her entire arm black
Yeah, them ones.
with a thing, and then there was some other strange tattoos, even like on her neck. And you like, bro, you know that's a demon. You know, to sit there and get your neck tattooed, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, but these people are bugged out. Why? Because they live in a world run by the bug out of bug outs.
I think the philosopher of this word.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to say, an unwise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the seat shall be inhabited.
Mhm.
The power of the earth is in the hand of Most High, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
And this is what we desperately need. We need right management. Right, this is what the world is missing. Right, and Yahweh Shai is that manager, man, that ruler, who's gonna set the way. Okay, and his officers, you know, his judges. Okay, gonna set the way for the rest of the world to live in righteousness, man. Right, so the world could be in a more harmonic state. Right, because all we got right now is death and disease and just crazy shit, man. Like all this, I say, is what we got now really working? Why do we seem more divided than ever as people? Why are we fighting amongst genders?
That's yeah.
These are all things the Most High already set in order already. That had its place already and worked fine. Until Satan come along and said, "Oh, but maybe you shouldn't be in the kitchen." You know? Why did you got to get a job too? So I'm gonna tax your black ass. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here? And now she's stressed out. She's more stressed out than she was before.
Exactly.
You know?
She still answers to it, man. It's at least this one, but at least the one she used to answer to before genuinely had her best interests at heart. This new man she has to answer to. He don't care.
But then he's really fucking lonely and depressed and shit. Got children with multiple dudes and she don't know what the fuck to do with them. She got resentment for the kids, resentment for the men she's been with, resentment for herself because she knows she was a fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like how is this better?
Yeah.
How is this better?
Yeah.
You know?
Just in pain.
Just because he so told you, yeah, you know, you should be able to do what you want. You know, he shouldn't be able to have control over you. And you know what? I'm gonna make it so he doesn't.
Yeah. And then in that make him less attractive as a mate because women don't like a guy that's just they're like okay they don't like it.
Same way we don't like fucking butch women.
Exactly.
You know, because it's not the roles we play. A man's not meant to be weak. He's not meant to be walked over. Right, but a woman's not meant to be trying to fucking wear the trousers either.
It's because they've got that saying no means no, but it's like as a man, it really should be the man's no means no. Yeah. Babe, can I get
a man could disannul your vows, disannul your vows and all kind of shit, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the real no.
Yeah, no.
I mean, walking past you read the account, you walking past the room, push it. They don't even listen to that.
Yeah, man.
It's like those things you be hearing women say some dumb shit sometimes. What the fuck is she talking about?
And I say, how is this situation any better, man? We've got a bunch of fucking drill kids everywhere.
Yeah.
YN.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just fucking night tech kicked out.
Yeah.
Just running around the streets.
It's mad. It's like it's like for real. I don't even like leaving my house around the time school's finished. Not that I'm scared of these niggas, these YNs or anything. It's just the energy that they bring around. It's like you just don't want to be around them. You know, even like my nan when I go, she's like, oh yeah, I didn't want to go to where she goes to do her shopping because the school's just finished and I don't want to go on the bus because it's like that just shows how degenerate these young children have become. You know, to the point where it's like, oh, back in the day, they wouldn't be around.
They would have been around, man. You know, wild ninjas, they would have got rid of Krypton, man. You know, but this world gives them a habitat to thrive in. Yeah, they might get gunned down by the police now and again or whatever, man. But largely, they still exist. The cockroaches exist, man, and no one gets rid of them. You know, you as a citizen don't have the power to get rid of them. So you depend on the police, but the police ain't doing shit really.
Yeah, because they've been cops.
Exactly, but the same thing because now it's like if they do something, it's racist. So it's like they can't do nothing. So this environment has been allowed to fester because of Esau, ultimately. You know. So, but we can't be living in a world like this, man. This is why we need Yahweh Shai to come and rule, to establish the laws that are written in the scriptures, man. And because Yahweh Shai can have the ultimate power, ain't nobody able to be able to say or do nothing about it. You will abide by this. You will abide by this. There's no, there's nothing
no
else. Right? There's no
No.
arguing.
Because even Jake, where it say Luke 19:27, those that would not that should reign over them,
Yeah.
we bring
Yeah.
hither.
No long thing. No long thing. No arguing. Okay, you don't.
Mhm.
See you in the next life. See you when you come back because you ain't gonna be here right now.
That's it.
You know. And so once this whole world conforms under righteousness, because that's what it is. This law is righteous, right? The world's gonna work a lot better,
Yeah.
right? And you people ain't be worrying about the shit you're worrying about today.
You're gonna
You know?
realize so.
I was a boy. I wanted to be a girl. Like none of this stupid stuff that we have to deal with is going to be in the kingdom, right? The Most High is going to establish order in the world, right? And we're just going to run with that. Everything's going to work like it's supposed to.
And spirituality is going to come back into the world as well. Because now that the Lord has awakened us, we see someone like we don't even think, oh, it's got demons on it. We keep it moving.
That's it.
And if we hear, would you call it maybe it's a family member, you'd be like, oh, you just got demons on you, man. You know, you can pray that up if you will. Like we've got family members that are even just alphabet life and talk about just regular alphabet. You know that's you know that one's a step too far. But it's like that alphabet, you're like, oh, you just got demons on you, man. Whatever, what have you. But we understand it from that perspective, right? Because when you read, was it Romans? It speaks about such as some were you, right? That basically some people did used to live that lifestyle, but they repented of that. That demon came off of them, man, right? But you get people in this world, man, they just give in to those demons, indulge, and those demons just running rampant over them, man, right? Which way, to be fair, that's why one of the things in regards to the whole Al-Azhar situation. One of the things that some of the elders have been saying is like, oh, your ex, and she had been a lesbian for like 7 years, bro, prior. So like, from then, you kind of should be knowing Wagwan. You can't be like, hey, this is a dangerous individual to be around because them alphabet people, they're some of the worst people, man.
A lot of them being touched, man.
Yeah. But it's the thing. If you're gonna live that lifestyle, really, where do you stop?
Exactly.
So for those, and that's why you see that they just do all manner of lewd.
Well, it's a good thing you're caught now.
Yeah.
But imagine we caught him like 5 years later. I dread to think, bro.
Yeah.
Man, a gimp mask on.
Oh,
Imagine all that. Man, guy be going crazy. I don't want to see none of that shit. Yeah, it's a good thing you're caught now, bro.
That's assuming. Because it's true. It's like the things that one does with a part-time wife. We'll just use that word, right? Is not necessarily something that they'll do with their actual wife, their paid-for wife, and like that. You know, so it's like if he was already going to see a dominatrix, you can only imagine the kind of shit that he has already done. Because you know, their whole trade is about keeping quiet. You know, for the Lord's sake.
Precept.
Yeah, a couple more, we're gonna close up.
No. This is Romans 1:25 NLT. It says, they traded the truth about the Most High for a lie. So they worship and serve the things God created instead of the Creator Himself.
So they prefer the lies that they've been told over the message the Most High, is trying to push, right? Because again, they're listening to the serpent,
Yeah.
right? They're telling you that the ways of the Most High, there's another way, or there's a better way, or this is more fun, or whatever he puts out there to people to make you feel like, yeah, I want to do that instead. I don't listen to this. It's archaic. That's the old way, Stay at home woman. Nah, I ain't about that. All these different types of things. Man being the head of the house, having the last say. No, I ain't about all that. That's what Esau's been pushing to the world, and so they rather enjoy that lie because it's not the truth. The order was as is written.
He's allowed them to pick and choose which bits of tradition they want. They want the tradition of being taken care of. They want the, which we understand really what its roots come from, but they want the tradition of a white wedding. But they themselves don't want the tradition of being under subjection to a man. Because when you look into all of that, there wasn't just the nice bit, as they would call them. It was all of it. You did the house stuff, he took care of it.
That's it. Yeah.
What does it say? Her food, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment shall he not diminish. Whereas basically, as basically going to prove that as a husband, you had duties, right? It's one of the things that some of the elders speak about as well. It's like, right now we ain't in a time to be going out and just getting a whole load of wives, because actually wives have a duty associated with them, right? You actually have to do stuff in when you're acting as a husband, if you will.
More than just hopping. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
suck
Which,
it.
yeah. Yeah, it's more than just hopping. Yeah, obviously you're gonna love doing that, but hell, like you said, there's duties, man. Things have to be put in order.
And what I was going to add was just Esau has reduced it to just popping.
Yeah.
Whereas like the immediate thing is just like you look at a woman, you just be like, let's just pop, whatever. For certain women, it really ain't for popping. You see, look, we don't touch.
That's true. Yeah. And it says, who is worthy of eternal praise, Aman. And it says, that is why the Most High abandoned them to their shameful desires. Even the women turn against the natural way to have sex, and instead indulge in sex with each other.
Yeah, which we saw that earlier on. Remember, it was the two Becky's look
Holding
good.
hands. Yeah, they look nice.
Look good. Waist of box, man.
See, like we saw at weddings, right? I'm gonna read it, right? It's from Google AI, right? So you do your vows, right? Vows don't mean shit to people these days. This is the big problem, right?
Yeah.
But listen to this, right? It says the inclusion of the word obey in wedding vows is no longer common in many Western cultures
West.
because of women's lib.
That's it.
They don't like the idea of having to obey, right? Same problem again, going back to the beginning of the lesson. Cain doesn't like to obey. He creates rebelliousness throughout the system against the Heavenly Father and His law. That's what he does. So even when you take these vows now, what does it mean?
Exactly.
They don't respect your authority. So therefore they can do what they want. Right? Because the rest of this shit don't mean nothing to them. You know, we should they start acting funny, man. Things are hard. You know, they're looking at you to do something, right? But they don't want to look at you any other time.
Yeah.
You got to supply the answer, but they don't want to respect the authority
Yeah.
any other time, you know?
Yeah. Oh, because that's even another thing that I saw. It was like, how can you, as a woman, ask for a man to lead when you don't listen?
Yeah. Don't make no sense, right?
I want a guy who leads. Yeah, he tells you now.
Your
don't
mouth's
do
always
that.
fucking open.
Exactly. For the wrong thing. It's a lot.
It says it's not common in many Western cultures where Esau is, right? Particularly in secular ceremonies. While it was once a standard part of traditional vows, it is largely been replaced by phrases like love and cherish. But that would come and stand anyway. She's your woman.
Yeah.
Right? One thing that's not taught here is obedience.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna love and why the fuck would you marry her? You didn't want to love and cherish her. But guess what? They don't want to obey. Right? It says, or love and honor. The shift reflects changing views on who changed the views. Esau, on gender roles and the desire for more egalitarian relationship within marriage.
Yeah, which there's no such thing as egalitarian.
So
Equal, yeah, there's no such thing. I always remember when the elder said it the first time. So there are no two people that are equal, even amongst men. Yeah. Right? And that's just it. But he wants to give this idea of you can be equals. You can't be equal.
The traditional view in past, particularly within some religious contexts, the bride would vow to love, honor, and obey her husband. This was often based on biblical interpretations,
Right. Yeah.
right? Because the Bible is truth, right? That's how it's supposed to be, right? Often based on biblical interpretations that emphasize wifely submission to husbands, and that's what you don't have now. That's why women are allowed to run riot. That's why divorces are because who usually initiates divorces? The woman.
It's like I believe they have a law. What? No fault divorce.
Yeah, in some
Adultery.
states.
Sorry.
No fault divorce. Yeah,
Yeah.
in some states where it's basically you can just be like, I want to get a divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, that, and they're like, cool. Because then when you look into it, it's a big racket as well. So you get a lot of people. Oh, them divorce lawyers. they'll
Please,
help you
right?
get as much money as
Yeah.
possible. They're not coming in to in a thing of like, look, man,
We help
like
your
you can
marriage.
help your marriage, whatever, what have you, right? And even if it's a requirement, they'll do it in a roundabout way of like, well, if you tell me it's not salvageable, then blah, or whatever, what have you, you know. But it's just that's just this world thing, man.
Just for what it says on the reasons of change. One of the reasons of change was emphasis on mutual respect. Like just because your woman's underneath doesn't mean you don't respect her. This is what they create this problem. that don't
Conflation.
exist. Yeah.
To complete base, you're mixing two ideas as if they're the same, right? That is not this just as the elders burn into comparable. It's not comparable. Man. So can you read that? What it said again?
Emphasis on mutual respect.
Emphasis on mutual respect, because this is how Esau bamboozles the world, right? Because if you've got like a good boss, he'll respect you. He's still your
You're
boss.
not. Yeah. You're not.
You're not
Yeah.
equal, and it's all about order. Because when shit hits the fan, guess what? And this is the thing. There is a reason why CEOs get paid more than everyone else. Because when shit hits the fan, it's their head that rolls. It's like, oh, we didn't hit projects. Yeah, you get a whole load of people that say may lose their jobs as part of it, right? But as a CEO, ultimately the blame goes to you. In fact, sports is a better example. Because in sports, that's a role, that's a business where the players don't necessarily get fired. It's the manager that will get fired first. So if the manager isn't managing well, right, guess what? He's out the window, man. There's a lot of pressure on having that particular position, man. Okay.
It says modern couples often prefer vows that reflect mutual love. Why is it not mutual love?
Nah. That's witchcraft. That's Salaki is good one because it said prefer.
Yeah, so that's what they push.
But the thing is, that's not necessarily for their preference because it's a thing of that's what they're given to say. No.
Say that again. So modern couples often prefer vows that reflect mutual love. So couples prefer it. So it is they're making that decision based on
Okay.
the indoctrination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They get insurance.
Getting paid to scare. Yeah. Oh no, I thought it was one of them ones they get given them vows, isn't it? Oh,
No, people write their own now.
okay.
Because the standard is to love and obey. That is the standard. Now they've all moved away from their own vows because they don't like the word obey. They think.
Salaki, my apologies.
So yes, the modern couples often prefer vows that reflect mutual love, respect, and support, rather than one partner being in a position of authority over the other.
Mm-hmm.
So then, who's the head? Then?
Exactly.
Who's the head of the house? Oh, there's no head of the house.
Now
We're
grab
all
this
equal.
real quick.
Esau's witchcraft. So at work, we can establish that there's a head.
Order, yeah.
If
But in
a
your own,
corporate-
business, your own house, economia, there's no head.
that's ridiculous. Esau, bro.
And but the man's always in subjection to the woman, really, because happy wife, happy life, right?
There you go, subjection.
You know, I got the wrong precept, but it ended up being the right precept. It's the 2 Corinthians. I wanted the order in it.
Or First Corinthians.
Yeah,
I'll get it,
further.
I'll get it.
Yeah, but it's the 2 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I fear lest that by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through subtlety, right? So your mind should be corrupted in the simplicity that is in the outside. I said I wanted 1 Corinthians 11, but I just wanted, like, I found it interesting that it, talks about the serpent beguiling, because that's what we're reading, the elders read, right? Is that serpentile indoctrination, right? Because everything else has order, right? But somehow, men and women, there is no order amongst men and women.
But again, Esau is here to destroy the order of the Heavenly Father. That's why he doesn't want no order in the house. Because he goes, they want the woman to buck up and be aggressive and do what he thinks. Yeah,
Yeah, but just in the same. I mean, look what happened when Israel, which is referred to as a woman, did the same thing. It was pain, man. And we've been suffering for a long time because of that disobedience, right? Which is why it's kind of not ironic, but it's like that's why you read Isaiah 32:9, right? Rather women that are easy and those types of precepts, right? That's what you're seeing now, because a lot of those women effectively did what Israel did, right? Israel as a nation, we said we don't need no man. The Lord was like, yeah, all right, right, and we were left out there. And that's what a lot of these women are now coming out to see that actually, yeah, they did. As a nation, starting off with the elect, we're like, you actually did, we did.
and this is what the dumb thing about it, because obviously there's obvious parallels right there between our relationship with the Heavenly Father and us and our women and so on, right? The Most High is using examples that are easy to understand.
Yeah.
And yet you still find it difficult.
Yeah.
A guy that commits adultery doesn't understand why, you know, when he gets adultery committed on him, why don't man upset? But he was doing the same thing, right? But if you experience it, you know how it feels, right? So therefore, if you don't want to feel that way, then you shouldn't behave that way, right? Because you love thy neighbor as thyself, right? And so that's supposed to correct you. Just knowing that it's supposed to correct you, but niggas go and do more madness, and when it happens to them, now they're all fucked up and shit.
and
You know?
and that's why, that's why I love that parallel that the Most High made in Israel being a woman, because then we can feel it. So when the Lord says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," right? And you can liken that to your woman.
Being a husband.
Yeah, exactly. But
You have
you
no
can-
husband before me.
exactly, yeah. So and you can liken that to like her going to another man for protection and for advice. You're gonna be like, "Oh, bumbleclot." you gonna feel away, you know. But that's what
something you can identify and understand. You know?
exactly, you know. And as a man, yeah, we all yeah.
Any closing scriptures?
Oh yeah. First Corinthians 11:3. NLT, it says, but there is one thing I want you to know. The head of every man is Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Right? So bear in mind, we've all got a head. The women don't like there being a head, right? But even the men have a head. Okay? Because we also not meant to be doing our own will. Okay? Yeah.
The head of woman is the man. And the head of Yahweh Shai Mashiach is the Most High Yahweh.
Right? So we're all servants, man. So don't despise being a servant. A woman's a servant, but we're also servants to Yahweh Shai. Right? So we're all playing a servant role, man. Just like embrace it, man. Play your role. Don't be told that your role is not in the, to be a good wife to your husband, to obey your husband. That is the role. That is the role you were made for, and to bear children. That is the role you were made to do.
It's a beautiful role.
Exactly.
Yeah. He made it sound like it was a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing, man. You know, it's like especially those early years, like a woman is responsible, vital
Yeah, vital.
to the the upbringing of that child. That child's success. Yes, of course, the dad being there is very important as well. But it just in terms of how that child is, the temperament, and all of that sort of stuff. Like, let's be real, women, all of that. As a man, yeah,
Not really happy.
hey, you might do it for like 2 minutes and be like, all right, go play with your mum or something like that, right? But that's why the Lord made us of these different types. That femininity versus that masculinity. It's important that Esau has got
The balance.
the balance.
And Jake don't get balance in this world, man. Especially when the father's not in the house.
That's it.
Or even if the father's in the house, he's degenerate. There's no balance there, man.
That's it.
And that's why they come out degenerate.
That's it.
It takes a family to raise a child, man.
That's it.
A righteous one.
Yeah.
Anything else?
This one. Ecclesiastes 26:1 say, blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
And that's what brothers dream about, having this virtuous wife. But
Yeah.
where are
Keyword
they?
dream.
Yeah. Well, the dream will become a reality in due time. But in this world, it don't really exist.
That's it.
Because the woman's always going to be against you because obviously she's a product of Satan in her mentality. Because she's been raised up on Babylon juice, right? And she's not fully broken that hold yet. Right? She ain't really broken that hold yet, so she's gonna fight you from time to time over certain things that she finds emotionally hard to deal with. But she's being told that she should be independent and all this kind of stuff, and you're telling her no, and whatever. It's going against what is how she's been cultured. She's been raised up in this place. But it is what it is, man. None of us are perfect. We've all got our own ways that that need to be straightened out, I guess. But you've got a woman, you do the best you can with them. So that's what you can do, isn't it? You've got children, do the best you can with them. And we just pray for the kingdom, man, so everything's made correct and right, perfect. So you've probably got anything to say?
Yeah, as you say, just what you say that women are always gravitated to power, So right now we are in the weak position, we are in the low, and so they don't see us as a what?
Pride, treasure,
They only see Esau, But in the kingdom, they're gonna see us as we are. Right? More powerful, you know.
That's right. Shining.
Shine.
But anyway, brothers, sisters, with that, we're going to say shalom. All praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem HaKadosh. Again, double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS. Shalom, let's see, brothers, that they in the house.